Hey, everybody, welcome to Bad Science Sunday, where we take a comedic approach to debunking science misinformation on the internet. Tonight, we are doing bad political science with Nicholas Lamar Suter. Yay!
Hello, hello. Oh, honest, when we were backstage, it didn't feel all that special, but now I do. So thank you.
Ah, see, nothing but the best for Nick.
And you even started late just for me.
Just for you. Yeah.
I appreciate it. It makes me feel at home.
Um, so, Nick, what's the elevator pitch? Who are you? What do you do?
My name is Nick Suter. I am the host of In Time. It is a news channel. We try to sort of break down what's going on in the news. Also, we try to compare and contrast various news sources, see who's telling the truth, who isn't, how can you be better consumers of news and learn to identify what's a good news source for yourself on your own. And we also do breaking news. So that's about it.
You do breaking news. You've been the breakingest of news on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, usually about 3 or 4 times a year, we manage to get ahead of, like, everybody. Fox News, CNN, ABC, MSNBC, Reuters, AP. We've been able to get ahead of a lot of them. Usually what we do is, in fact, the Russian invasion, the way we the way we figured that one out was we had one of our researchers was on social media and said, "Oh, well, here's a video of a 7-mile long column of troops going from Crimea to Russia." And we're like, well, we still have to verify this. How do we do that? I'm like, does Google traffic work in Crimea? Turns out it does. So we confirmed that column is there, and we went live 6 hours before anybody else with the invasion. You can see
Wow.
them cut the cameras live. We're like, okay, they just cut and people, and I know you've seen this where people go, this has to be fake. This can't be real. This isn't happening. Nobody else is covering it. I was like, welcome to In Time.
And what's the focus, I guess, recently? There's a lot of stuff been going on this week.
Uh-oh. So, yeah, no, this guy here is entering. That's a troublemaker.
Nothing but trouble.
What's been the focus? We've been focused a lot on Ukraine. We've been focused some on Israel. We actually had a former member of the Israeli Defense Force come on, who was highly critical. He had actually grown up outside of Israel and came back to fulfill his military obligation, and that was, I think, one of our the best interviews we
That
did.
was, yeah, man, I've been, well, I'm one of the mods there, and probably, I don't know, my personal opinion, probably the best interview you've done. And you've done good interviews. I mean, you do good interviews, many with people I like, but that was, man, it was. I was driving when I was listening to it, and it was one of the few times when I'm just like, I wish I was like here to just like have my full attention on it because yeah, that was
Yeah,
crazy.
it was good. It was very good. Our interview with Lieutenant General Benjamin Hodges was good. We're going to be bringing him back soon. We're still trying to get back up to pace. So
How did you find
I'm not used
him?
to how did I get him? No, that was a cold call. I reached out to him and I said, "Listen,
Oh,
I
wow.
know you've done this show. I know you've done this show. I know this is what you care about." I said, "Would you consider looking at us?" And he actually said that he didn't do channels this small. And I showed him some samples of what we did. He said, "You know what? I'll go." And then he, after the interview, he liked the interview. So first of all, he argued with me. He and I got into an argument right before the thing started. And he said, "Wait a minute, you're saying this is going to go 90 minutes?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You cannot do a YouTube show longer than 30 minutes." I said, "Yeah, welcome to In Time. No, we'll be good. You know, our audience, we're fine." And he even apologized for it at the end of the interview. He says, "You know, I told you at the beginning this wasn't going to work, and you knocked it out of the park. Well done." And he agreed to do 2 more in the same week.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, that's
so
awesome.
he's a great guy. That was a great
Yeah.
interview. And as I'm saying all of this, keep in mind, and you know this as well as anybody,
Mhm.
which is I have the best of all the jobs, which is I'm the one who's out there on the front and gets to be seen by everybody. But it's the research team that 9 times out of 10 finds they notify me. They're like, I think Iran just fired missiles into the Iraqi green zone and killed 3 Americans. And I was like, wow, that's probably newsworthy. I guess I better get out of bed. So, that's rarely me that finds that stuff. So we're a community project. Anyone who joins the Discord, as long as you can research it and know what you're doing, you can be a part of the team. So it's really great. We have some great mods. Our head mod is somewhat questionable. We've been looking into maybe possibly replacing him. The problem is every time I take his wrench, it just comes back again. I haven't figured out how the hell that happens, but I think
Nah,
somebody else is in on it.
yeah, I think Titan just comes
I was
with
hoping I didn't say his name deliberately. He gets bigger every time somebody says
yeah.
his name.
I
You don't.
actually
Yeah.
Vandy did time him out. I think he tried to ban him, and
Twice.
it's like
I've
yeah,
done it twice.
he just
It's
he
some
auto
of the best moments of my life.
he just auto spawns back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he comes with every account on. If you get a new account on YouTube, he comes automatically modded. He's just the default
Yeah,
mod to.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how to
It
deal
was
with
so
it.
funny. I think was it Sundays? I think it was Sunday that rated us, and somebody in the chat was like, "Oh, Titans modded here too."
I listen. I go to
And I
show.
said the same thing. I was
Okay.
like, "I'm sorry, Titan just comes with the YouTube channel. It's like, here's
Listen.
your complimentary mod."
I was literally on this YouTube channel. It was like old grandmothers taking a bath, and I'm on this channel. And like, why are you on this channel? And there's now one person watching. Why? And I was just like, it's the only channel on the entire planet I've found that Titan is not modded on, and I wanted to go somewhere where I was free of him. The grannies were scary, but it was. I have to be honest, it was worth it.
Hey, Titan, this is your challenge.
No, Titan and Nick are like best friends. He's
Yeah.
giving him shit.
Of this
No.
I'm
Wait, excuse
aware.
me. What? Do I get a say in this, or do you just like you just get to declare this? It's like you're a king, and
No,
yeah,
yeah,
I
no,
mean, you're getting a
she's
lot
the
of warm
queen
welcomes in the
goddess.
chat, Nick.
yeah.
Maya
I think this show is off to a very bad start. Is
is
it?
the queen
Oh,
goddess.
oh wow! Look at the time. It's
Oh,
already time to, guys. It's been a great show. I really appreciate you bringing me on.
and you know what? I can't. Daddy Lust, which we've Titan is, yeah. You've never had him on the show. Now he has a master's degree in like, oh god, oh, Daddy, what's the random bullshit you do? Military history or some shit. Like I can't
Wait,
believe he.
are you just calling our guest daddy for the duration?
I don't think he
No,
was
I'm not talking about
referring to me.
Nick. I'm talking about
Oh,
Daddy Lust.
my mistake.
I already did. No, Nick doesn't have a military history degree.
No,
But
but
I
like the
appreciate
whole
that
thing was
comment
just
earlier, though.
his
Thank
face just went through his beautiful.
you. Oh, Daddy. Okay.
Oh,
This interview is
I've
going
never
great.
seen one of our guests so visibly regretful of coming on the show.
Oh no, it's
Oh
fine.
no!
It's really fine.
Definitely, Dr. Dan. After you showed the, I thought he was going to rage quit. So Dr.
That was
Dan said
great.
he was like, "I will fail any student who says that mitochondria is the powerhouse of
Powerhouse
the
of the
cell."
cell.
So then he plays a whole minute.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, "Oh my god, please!" So I was like, "If you have to rage quit, I guess it would be now because we're almost done." But
He loved it.
he
I'm
turned
sure.
so red, like it was. Oh my god, you could see a little cartoon smoke coming out of his face.
Oh, I need to show. Yeah, I do need to show my shirt. Although, is it backwards on this? Or is
Oh
it right?
yeah,
No,
I
it's
don't know. Can
not.
anybody see Nick's shirt?
Yeah, he's.
It's good.
There
It's
you go.
good. All right, Vandy. I read it the first time. You go.
Intelligence is the ability to adapt to changes. Stephen Hawking. Change.
I figured
not
it was.
changes. Sorry, I got a plural wrong. My bad.
Yeah, I was. Yep. You failed. That's all right.
God.
Fortunately, you seem to already have signed a contract with the show. I guess she's obligated to keep you at least for a little while longer. But that was.
Yeah, just for a little while.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh God, Spooky has a warm welcome for you.
Well, now they scraped the bottom of the barrel a while back. Now they're through the barrel and just getting into the dirt underneath, and they're like, "Oh, look, Nick's here." Well,
Not quite, not quite. However, we maybe at the bottom of the barrel for a different reason. Vandy,
Oh yeah.
would you like to tell everybody what we have in store for them today?
And if you make the Schindler's List comment again, I am walking. I'm just saying.
I have no response. Moving on. We are watching a generic, random, low effort, high return video, I would imagine, from our friends at Video Advice, who have 3.5 million subscribers and 183,000 views. You know, normally this part of the intro is more interesting because I have something to say, but this is just one of those random, we can shovel it out fast channels. So it's fine. The title of the video is They're Working for Supernatural Forces by our journalistic Lord and Savior, Tucker Carlson, who is exposing it all.
It's exposing it all. Or what do you call him? Great value, Rush Limbaugh. Sorry,
Yeah.
Great Value is like the Aldi brand, so it's like a discount
So,
rush.
so what you're saying is, for most guests, you would actually put some effort into the video, but knowing it was me, you just the first one that you find randomly.
To be
Exactly.
clear, we
Yeah.
no
You don't have to look too hard. It's just right there, and with an eyesight just reach. You know it's the cheapest.
Nobody needs to know anything about it. I mean, listen, I've met 6-year-olds who could debunk Tucker Carlson, so it's just sort of like, I mean, yeah, I don't exactly. I'm not feeling the vote of confidence here, but I'll play along.
But how many Tucker Carlsons have you met that could debunk 6-year-olds, right?
Not a one. Not
That's
a
fair.
one.
Yeah, no, that didn't work out for me, did it?
Main thing they want you to
quick,
believe. The main thing
just to boost Nick's confidence. Blonde Bombsheller did love the interview too.
Oh, good. So we have a couple people of the interview. I have yet to hear anyone say it was because of the quality of the host. I mean, I had something to do with it, but okay.
Oh, and I do want to thank Ember for the raid. Welcome on in, peeps.
Oh, hopefully Ember came in too.
Yeah, she's here. She's probably going to be going to bed pretty soon, but I do want to thank her before she leaves. She was
It's Rouge.
interviewing J.L. Warren before this, and that was a
Oh,
pretty good conversation.
nice.
they want you to believe. The main thing they want you to believe is the supernatural is not real. Why has that been so important for 80 years for you to convince me the supernatural is not real? The obvious
All
answer.
right, real quick. Well, obviously, we all know who they is. What do
Yes.
they do to convince us that supernatural is not real?
I have no clue, but I'd like to point out there's two possible reasons that they would want to say that supernatural is not real. The
Mhm.
first is because of a global conspiracy to like, and I think we're already getting some elements of that. The second one is because the supernatural is not real. So when you ask that question, why, it's not a bad idea to realize A, that there are two possible answers, and B, that Occam's razor would suggest one of those answers over another.
Certainly. So either there's a Jewish conspiracy to keep us all out of the Illuminati loop, or there just isn't one. Hmm.
Well, and it's really an Occam's razor just to make sure that the physicist feels like he's being included.
Oh,
the obvious answer is,
but I do seem to remember a congressional hearing where there were members of Congress trying to convince us that aliens at least. I don't know. Would the aliens fit into the supernatural or no? No.
Supernatural, unfortunately. It would be fun if they were, but no, aliens are not supernatural.
All right.
well, because they sort of know they're working for supernatural forces, actually. And I think that's probably true. I talked to people who I thought had first.
Hold on.
I almost did a Cat Williams video today. Cat Williams is convinced that very similar to this, that we are being kept from true knowledge. And there were videos of other Black actors calling him a prophet. And yeah. Maybe we'll
Listen,
do a Cat Williams stream one day.
yeah, Cat Williams is hilarious as fuck, but he's a comedian, and if he
Mhm.
is your source on anything science, uh, uh, metaphysics, physics, anything like that related, you have a number of problems that I'm not even going to bother attempting to identify at this point. Some of them absolutely psychological. There's Cat Williams. No, no.
But he
Fair.
said the evil is real and it is here. He said that.
He
I
did.
heard it.
Well. First of all, I haven't heard it, so I'm not even sure that the quote is accurate. But for argument's sake, let's assume it's accurate. He also, I mean, got busted. Like, if I recall, high on acid, stealing a scooter and then crashing into another scooter and then stealing some kid's bike and going into a mall and all this. Look, he's been in the news, and it's not for good science.
That is true. That is true.
Okay, Cat Williams. Okay, I wonder if I can pull that off. Actually, I should sit there and say, okay, Israel has invaded Lebanon. 1,600 are dead. The source is Cat Williams. And so,
Yeah, but like, should you though?
well, that's kind of my point. That's what I'm trying to illustrate here by example. Is
Yeah,
that I'm
and
just thinking like, now, if Trump gets reelected, I have no doubt Cat Williams will be our next press secretary. But until that time, I'm just saying that maybe he's not the best source for anything but comedy. For which, by the way,
it could be
I've seen him live.
potentially.
Great, yeah. I'm just saying. I don't mean to.
What-
You know.
Would Terrence Howard or Cat Williams be worse
In what capacity?
as press secretary?
As press secretary?
Yeah, the one you mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be no Cat Williams. At least Cat Williams would be funny. I mean, would be entertained.
Yeah.
You could laugh for reasons that were not ironic.
Does he know what 1 times 1 is?
I hope so. I mean, I'm going to give him the benefit.
Yeah,
of the
but
doubt.
I mean, I hoped that about Terrence Howard, and Terrence Howard thinks 1 times 1 equals 2. He thinks that the multi. Oh God. Okay, well, we'll move on.
Let's yeah. I'm sure we've got a lot to go.
Chat. The evil is here, is real, and it is here. That's what's happening.
He says
right
while
now.
Cat Williams is like the picture of Cat Williams, like the evil is real and it is here. Cat Williams. No, yeah, that's actually not.
I don't think Cat Williams is evil.
I don't know.
I don't think he's not evil.
You know what? We're gonna have to do a Cat Williams stream because, like, I'm not convinced that he's not
Okay, fair enough.
unevil. Also, bingo is pinned to the top of the chat for anybody who would like to play.
Fantastic.
I'm just wondering. I mean, what's next? Is he going to? He's going to quote Mariah Carey and suggest that she should be the head of the CDC? I mean,
Ooh. What is next?
Okay, yeah, that's
First-hand knowledge. I talked to probably true. I talked to people who I thought had first-hand knowledge. I talked to a number of them, and then I was like, whoa, I'm out. And the last couple of years, I've been like, holy, they're the only people who know what's going on. So that's the conclusion I've reached.
So what we just heard described was like the definition of somebody falling into the conspiracy hole.
Mm-hmm,
right?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm not convinced that Tucker hasn't made the conspiracy hole more than once.
Yeah, no. Tucker bears a unique responsibility for all that hot nonsense.
Well, he looks for it. He looks for the hole, and then he finds ways to make it bigger. I mean, he jumps in and is like, okay, now that I'm in here, here's some TNT. Let's find ways to just make this hole as huge as possible and take all of human civilization with us, which is, no.
He's an aggressive geologist.
like I said, I mean, in terms of, and again, don't, but I'm going to say he is, of all the Nazis past and present, probably one of my favorites, but it's a low bar. Don't. I'm looking at no. Bad tapioca weasel. I'm just saying.
Okay.
No. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I like Nick.
Wait,
He is a
right,
Nazi. We
wrong.
can agree on that, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I'm usually the one trying to.
Hey, hold on. The way you were phrasing that makes me seem like I'm an apologist, and at worst, I am ignorant.
No, I was calling you
Okay.
the Nazi.
No, not you. Maya.
In that
But
case, I wasn't
Maya.
saying anything.
Yeah, no, Maya was going to be like, I'm the one that has to like fight against the Nazi stuff.
No, Nick's here, so he's going to help me point out all the Nazi shit. It's
I'm
going to
Yeah.
be
just saying,
great.
you know,
Oh well, there's going to be a lot of shit to clean out if we're going to let Tucker Carlson keep talking. But okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would apologize, but I don't like lying for no reason.
I'm usually pretty curious. I've stopped being curious about this because I don't want to know anymore. But I think I know. I think I know what's up. And only the Bible readers are prepared to understand it.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
You knew we were going there.
No, actually, I didn't. I was hoping I should have known, but I was just like because I mean, it's not like he's a like Christian
Grifter?
nationalist.
He
Well,
is a
no,
Christian.
yeah,
He is a Christian nationalist, but he
yeah,
also got booted off his his cash cow Fox.
yeah, but
So
is he a
now he has
Christian
to do some
nationalist?
hardcore dick suck. I mean, pandering.
Is
I
he a
feel
Christian nationalist or
I,
I was
I feel like
not the
he's the
Christian nationalist.
prototypical most dangerous Christian nationalist other than Trump, who's
Trump's not a
like
Christian nationalist.
he's not, but like he
No.
fills the slot for a lot of people.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
well,
and the thing I have with like Trump and Tucker is like I don't I don't really need to be convinced of their inner thoughts, right? If all the Christian nationalists love you and see you as their deity, then does it matter if you're functionally filling the role?
to some extent, because he's not going to start a war in the Middle East exclusively so that Jesus can return, which any Christian nationalist like Bush would do. Having said that, he'll start it for money or any number of other reasons. But there's a difference between being one and playing one on TV.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, I okay, but if
I mean,
you
they're both
fill
equally
your
national.
entire regime with Christian nationalists and don't stop them from enacting out their Christian national regime,
Yeah, you're a Christian nationalist enabler. You're a
hmm hmm
Christian nationalist enablist.
hmm I just for me, I don't know, like people used to always ask me, well, is Trump really racist? And this would be before all like we had like just mountains of racist stuff that he was doing. And I'm like, racism isn't what happens in your heart. It's what like we're not trying to police how you feel. Hate me. I don't care. I have a bunch of haters. Like I just, it's how I know I'm doing something right. It's cool. You can hate me. It's fine. But don't stop me from having a job. Don't stop me from living where I want to live. Don't stop me from, loving who I want to love. Like even if you don't hate me, but you're still like doing the things, I don't see the difference for
Yeah,
me personally.
essentially an argument from consequentialism, which is that it's the consequences that define who that person is. If they're doing
Hmm
bad things, regardless of the reason, then they are that bad person. And I think that works under many circumstances. I think when you're talking about Trump, at least in his first term, the fact that he wasn't a Christian nationalist is a godsend. At this point, it isn't going to matter for precisely the reason. Now they know that all they can get in there and so. But it can, under some circumstances, make a difference. So I think it did in his first term. It won't if he ever gets a second.
Okay. Okay. I'll go. We'll agree there.
Beautiful.
Tucker Carlson steps into the Sean Ryan show to expose some disturbing truths. Known for his credibility and direct access to influential figures,
Is Tucker Carlson known for his credibility and his direct access to influential figures? Like the second one, maybe, I don't
Influential
know.
Nazis, maybe.
Well, were they talking about him, or were they talking about the guy who's showing?
No, they're talking about.
Only the Bible readers are prepared to understand it.
Tucker Carlson steps into the Sean Ryan Show to expose some disturbing truths. Known for his credibility and direct access to influential figures.
All right, credibility. So
Tucker is, yeah. They're talking about Tucker.
yeah, I mean, okay, so it depends on who you're talking about, right? There are, before he got kicked off Fox, there were a lot of people who, for whatever reason, believed Tucker was a credible person. For instance, when Chris Hansen and Jay Bundy interviewed Bob Price on Gnostic Conformance channel, Dr. Bob was saying, I don't believe I should have to get information from anyone other than Tucker because he saw him as a credible source. Yeah, that's all I need in life, Tucker Carlson, and that's my news.
You don't
whole
have
news
to.
source.
You don't have to. It's a privilege to be able to compare and contrast sources. That's why my brain is hurting. Hold on.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, it was bad.
Do we have Tylenol, aspirin, something stronger? It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, like that's not going to cut it. Like you're.
No, it's not. I'm sitting there.
This is how America's opioid problem started.
Yeah.
With top-tier personalities,
real quick,
including the president.
For $2, Fern Lovebine, it was like 10 minutes ago. I'm so sorry, Fern. Says, I am they and them. And yes, I did all the things. I maybe add a little bit of it. Thank you, Fern.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you, Fern.
President of Russia. He hints at having uncovered a very frightening reality through these high-level interactions. Insights he is about to share. Please pay close attention as Tucker Carlson reveals what he's discovered about the forces shaping our world. Let's listen.
So that's what this video is. This video is just like we love Tucker Carlson. Please let us enjoy the smell of your smegma.
And you can see the strings already, like you see the red strings there. So that's already the conspiracy theory. This is literally, you couldn't, if you were trying to make a comedy show, you couldn't fucking just do more they just we're not really conspiracy theorists. This is real, but we're going to put in all the trappings of a conspiracy theory.
Like if I just Google yarn conspiracy,
yes.
The first, if I just share this tab instead, the first example with a person on it is the meme of Charlie.
That was a great episode though. Yeah.
Yeah, it is because it's all right. So.
Oh, and I do want to thank Nitty for giving us the DKU emotes. Love to see the chat's having fun with those.
Beautiful.
Listen to what Tucker has to say.
The fact that anyone would even consider getting within 1,000 miles around with a nuclear exchange just shows you that the core impulse here is that's what all of this is. And that's why
was that a coherent thought? Was there like a
has there been one yet?
No, was there a subject to that sentence?
I don't know that there was. Like
I didn't. Yeah.
The fact that there has been, and in the context of whatever, right?
That was basically a run-on sentence of a run-on sentence. Okay.
Interesting. But I do. Okay. I'm sorry. I want to thank Blonde Bombsheller. Can't talk. I don't know why I can never talk during my own streams. Blonde Bombsheller has just become a member, and I believe it's her first month. So welcome. Please enjoy your tapioca weasels, your vaginas, and your nitties. We have fun here.
We do.
Personally,
we do. The guests don't.
I'm glad somebody's having fun on this stream. Anyway, let's finish this.
Before we started, you came in and asked, "Do you guys treat the guests better than you treat each other?" And we do. I don't. Not when it comes to the content. No.
Oh yeah.
Not when it comes to the content.
You should have seen when Eric from Skeptics and Scoundrels were on here, and we did our teriology stream. Like
Yep.
towards the end, he was like, "Please, no, I can't."
Oh.
So just out of curiosity, how long have you guys been working for Kim Jong Un?
3 months. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. Sorry.
Oh my god!
Spiritual
You know what?
etiquette.
I totally missed this. When did this
You
happen?
did. Was it the 10
Yeah,
memberships that were
I
gifted
did. How did you
by?
let me miss that?
Because I'm bad at doing the things, and
You
I
did
don't always
everything.
remember.
Holy
Oh,
shit! Oh my god, John Baumschuller, thank you so much for giving us 10 more cult members. Oh my god. And those went to Hollyhock, Katrina Puck Bias, Alex Markle, Pragmatic Crystal, PC. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you for all you do on behalf of the entire community. Spooky Bed here, who is unfucking bannable. Triceratops, really not long name there. Can I get that up here? Um, Triceratops, no more rocks. Flood is greater than rocks. Was gifted a membership. You are Victoria, who's been here forever. Don Giovanni, Thylaka Leon Kennedy, and Scott Staton. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. Please enjoy your tapioca weasels, your vaginas, and your nitties. Bad weasel.
I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm never sorry.
The word demonic is suddenly being overused. It's everywhere because it's real. But yeah, if you see a human movement that's anti-human, the push toward nuclear war for its own sake is by definition anti-human, I would say. AI.
Who is pushing for nuclear war?
what is Putin doing? I mean,
Maybe
yeah.
Putin's like the only guy.
and
Is
he's like,
Putin his best friend?
yeah, he's hanging. Putin's the only guy. First of all, Putin's the only one who will actually do an interview with Tucker Carlson, which I think is hilarious.
And if I think that may have already come up, but if it hasn't, it's definitely going to come up.
And yeah, no, just go.
Human by definition, anti-human by definition. Transhumanism is anti-human. Do people act against their own long-term interests? Probably not, actually. So it's probably not human. Very simply.
Do people act against their own interests? Probably not. Therefore, that's probably not human.
Their own long-term interests. So, and since he's a big fan of Alan Greenspan, who was a protege of Ayn Rand, and he sat there and said it is absolutely impossible for human beings to actually act against their own interests. That is the entire founding principle of objectivism and of all neoliberal economics.
Which is wrong.
And it's wrong. And Greenspan had to admit it to Congress, and they're sitting there going, how did this happen? He goes, well, in theory, it's impossible. It's just like,
in your theory, it's impossible.
Exactly.
In your dumb theory that doesn't take.
When you read Ayn Rand,
very obviously, it turns out not edge case. He thought that was a tiny little edge case.
And he still does. And he was still, and then like years later, he's like, well, I'm trying to figure out what went wrong that caused you don't understand human beings. And Tucker tries to get out of this actually, because it's interesting. He says the long-term interests, and he separates that from short-term interests, because he has to account for the CEO who gooses the stocks, destroys the company, and then bails out on a golden parachute. Now he is, willing to destroy the company's long-term functioning for his own short-term interests. And so he's trying to sit here and get out of some very obvious evidence that what he says is like. So I love the way he just added the word long-term interest. It doesn't matter whether it's long-term or short-term. People can and do act against them, and it's because we're mammals. Excuse me. We don't always think rationally. I know it's hard for Tucker to recognize that, since he never does. But dear Lord.
As a physicist, I think it's very obvious that humans are totally just as good at keeping track of long-term psychological interests as opposed to short-term ones. What are your thoughts? Maya? Nick?
Dr. Tapioca Weasel gifted a membership to Sumami. Sumami, welcome back to the fold. Please enjoy your tapioca weasels, your nitties and vaginas.
Way to make me look self-serving.
I haven't thought about it enough that I'd have an answer to that question, and I haven't seen any data that would give me any indication one way or another. So I have no answer.
I guess I was referring to like the classic experiment of if you give like a person a reward and they have to wait before taking the immediate reward for the longer term reward.
The marshmallow
We're
test.
we're not great at that.
No, we're not.
Most-
And it's the single best indicator. SATs is not the single best indicator of success in life. Grades is not the single
Right.
best indicator of success in life.
Right.
Single best
Exactly.
indicator of success in life is the marshmallow test.
Yeah, actually, it's better.
I'm not
Also,
kidding. True.
well, I mean,
That's-
also,
yeah.
success in life. One of the higher indicators is the zip code in which you were born.
That
Yes, you are much. We
That's
all
much
end up
more
much closer
positive.
to where we begin.
Yep.
Start rich. and
Trying
much
to
more
reduce it
ever.
to its most basic elements, and like any movement that's anti-human is probably not human, is it?
Probably
Did
not.
dogs
Oh,
act
he's so
against their
proud
own
of
collective?
Look at that. He's so proud of himself. And by the way, yes, they do sometimes. Especially when they have rabies, like this man probably does. Just say, is that by the way, it's not live yet, right? I mean, okay, is there a lawyer here who can say, if I say he's got rabies, does he sue me or does he sue the show? Because if he sues the show, that's one thing. I'm fine with that.
Well,
If
he
sues
totally sues you.
Well, I don't really care what you think. I care what the
We're
law.
not incorporated.
Yeah, but it's your show.
No, it's Maya's show. This is Maya's channel. Okay. To be clear, like I definitely
Like
don't.
my
get
name
sued.
is nowhere on here.
Maya is all the way under that bus. I can draw a diagram
pretty
and
much,
everything.
So basically, I'll say that he is a rabid, coked out, like muskrat that is cozying up to Nazis for money. And if you have a problem with that, her name is Maya. And you can just the information's right on the channel. Contact YouTube. They'll give it to you.
It's Adkison, not Adkinson.
No, but my last name, while not worse than yours, it's still
but
haven't
yeah,
seen
but
anybody
we'll talk.
spell it right without the @ sign.
Maya, I will
Mhm.
give you this, and potentially you too, Nick, in the United States. Your names are in fact high maintenance last names, just like mine.
Mine is not a high maintenance last name.
I was going to
It's
say,
a
I
little
always
bit. Some people
spelled
don't know
like-
how to spell suitor. Some people.
Well,
don't.
usually
Some
they
people
spell.
do yours.
No, they do because there's a Supreme Court Justice Souter, but he spells it wrong. So I see your point.
Yo, if you think that most people know the last names of Supreme Court justices, then
Yeah, no, I know.
Like,
That was
or the
sweet.
first names.
I was hoping you weren't actually going to call me out on that.
Or
point.
how many there are.
I have an IQ at least in the double digits. Okay, so
So higher than at least 50%.
To caribou, to porcupines.
Oh, wait a minute.
no,
I
that's
do want to
triple digits.
thank Faye DeGray for giving us 5 cult members. Okay, there we go. And those went to Carol Kinzinger and Spilcab Van Sparta, Vesta Freya, Jeff C., and Brillian. Thank you so much, Faye DeGray. And to our 5 new cultists, thank you. Welcome back, really, to the fold, because I don't think any of you are new. Continue enjoying your tapioca weasels, your nitties, and vaginas. All right, commence.
Some of them have been.
To single cell amoeba, to sea cucumbers. No, none of those.
Sorry.
Act against their own collective interest. To caribou, to porcupines. To single cell amoeba, to sea cucumbers. No, no,
Right.
no animal does that.
In my Facebook feed, I have I don't ask me why this came up in my Facebook feed. Somebody I know ostensibly shared it. It was a monkey in a tree trying to bite a snake on his back, and the snake did not appreciate that, so he bit the monkey in the face. The monkey struggled for a bit. Got the
Who was
snake.
on their back?
Hmm?
Who was on their back? The monkey was on their back, or the snake was on their back?
No, they were both in a tree. Monkey saw the snake, decided to eat the snake alive. Snake bite monkey in face. Monkey probably this like painful, like he's screaming. Um,
Yeah.
Finally gets the snake off of his face, and again tries to bite the snake in the back. And I'm like, animals act against their own interest. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Why was this in your Facebook feed?
Somebody I
Thank
know
you.
shared it.
I forgot.
Oh no, I wasn't going to let that go. I was.
Yeah.
I was just like, it doesn't matter. I'll hold that for 3 hours if I have.
Maya's superpower is having a co-host with more ADHD in that way than she does.
Yeah, I mean, some things I don't know. People I know find weird things interesting.
You don't have to answer the question. I was really just trying to be annoying more than anything.
Oh no, yeah, I'm used to you.
You do. You
No,
have to
yeah,
answer
no,
the
we're just coming off a Leo stream. Like I have a high tolerance right now.
question.
Because it's not natural. Animals are part of nature, they do natural things. People are subject to the supernatural, so they do things that are not
just
natural.
pause this. Actually, I'm sorry, we're going to have to. Okay, so this is actually very similar to word salad. It's not, but he's essentially using what is it? He's basically a priori defining what he's going to talk about and saying, because I've defined it this way, therefore it's this. And it's exactly the way you had said earlier, that 1 + 1 = 2. It's an a priori truth. It doesn't mean anything to say it. If you say all unmarried men are bachelors, then you haven't actually said anything. So what he says is all things in nature will act naturally. If they don't, then it wouldn't be in nature, right? No fucking shit. That's the definition. He hasn't said anything. Literally, he hasn't said anything.
Well, I suppose he said that humans act, at least in part, outside of nature because they're exposed to the supernatural.
Well, I think that's where he's going, and I agree he's said something in the prior, but in just like the last 10-second clip, the way he set that up, it sounds like he said something profound, and he literally said A equals A, therefore nothing that's not A is going to be A, or anything that's not A is not going to be A. It's like, no shit.
I just went back 10 seconds.
Okay.
If the buttons do the thing I think they do.
No, none of them do. No animal does that because it's not natural. Animals are part of nature, they do natural things. People are subject to the supernatural, so they do things that are not natural.
Okay, real quick. I do want to respond to that. Nitty is very happy that he now has two. Okay, the boobies I gave Nitty is like a gift because I don't know. Nitty leads the titty mob. And we're very happy and grateful to Nitty for that. Nitty decided that we needed a DKU. Say like a thing with a dense cap, and I hate that these don't. That the what you call it don't show up on the screen, like the special, like the channel emotes.
Oh yeah, it's really annoying.
It is.
I don't know if that's EVMux's fault or if that's YouTube's fault or both.
I think
Probably.
I don't know. Maybe if we did it in YouTube, it might. I don't know. I haven't seen, like, even StreamYards I know does that.
Yeah, but like if YouTube streaming can't pull it off, then they just aren't trying hard enough, frankly. Like
Seriously,
literally. Yeah. Like it can't be that hard of a problem to make a workaround for.
Right, exactly. But here we are. But yeah, Nitty has two emotes now, and one that I named after him, and one that he gifted
That's more
the show.
than me.
So I do appreciate that, Nitty, and thank you for the $2. Also, these are other weasel emotes that the crowd.
They don't count. They don't count, Mayo. The magnets are not part of our emojis. Those are YouTube because they hate me. Okay? Nick, by the way, if you don't know, magnets are evil, and I stand for this proposition, and everybody else is a lying bastard.
Nick is like, what is happening?
That's why I clarified the the conditions of the thing.
Yes, you clarified it very well. Thank you. I'm going to stay over here now. I'll do the rest of the show. I can see you just fine. Just hit play.
like themselves. That's why we're the only
You're not my real dad. You can't make me hit play. Okay,
species
sorry,
that
sorry,
itself.
Matt.
Wow.
So when you yourself, whether slowly or all at once, you're being acted on by forces outside of you.
All right,
Spiritual
so
forces.
let's remember what he said here. Humans are not animals, so we can, and that is why we can be swayed by the supernatural, unlike animals.
Isn't there a talking donkey in the Bible? I could be wrong.
Facts are not his currency.
I'm well fucking aware of that. If we're gonna sit here and only debunk what he says that is fact related, this is gonna be a very short show.
Well, I mean,
Indeed.
to be clear, Nick, this show is going to be the same amount of time whether you like it or not. Okay.
Yeah, Maya, what you need is not a co-host. You need Dr. Phil. I'm just saying, between the magnets, between the, I mean, there's I think, like, I'm willing to participate in group. Oh, thank you.
Isn't that better?
I feel safer now. I feel
I
breathing better.
know. I know. It's just like,
Oh
ah,
yeah. I found. Hold on. I'm just. Oh, that is so
yeah,
much better.
yeah.
Thank you.
Great. It's great.
Thank you, Maya. You knew exactly what I needed there. I appreciate that.
I like Nick so much. Why haven't we bonded in this way before?
I think this makes so much sense, especially when you
Sure he
consider
does,
the
yeah.
anti-human trends we're seeing today. Remember when Cat Williams talked about similar issues?
God, why are you like this?
There are lots of testimonies from celebrities who speak openly about these phenomena, but it's as if we're asleep, unable to grasp the reality because the elites are doing their best to dismiss the
The elites. What are these celebrities that you're talking about? Are celebrities not like?
Wait, Anne McClain.
And Shania Twain. I heard Shania Twain has touched the other side.
I don't know who Anne McClain is.
I don't either. Chad, who's Anne McClain? Like, what do I need to? I'm not going to Google her.
Hollywood is Satan. Well, okay, yeah, but if Hollywood wasn't Satan, nobody would watch. I'm just saying.
Indeed.
I mean, Satan does have an OnlyFans. Like they could fill that.
You know what? That makes sense.
Fill that itch there, and then watch Hollywood for like other kinks. Although I guess Satan's superpower is that Satan is the best exemplar of all kinks. I guess that's what makes Satan Satan. Yeah.
supernatural. But as you'll soon find out, the powers that be are working hard to suppress any
James Woods. I mean, just
Oh, James Woods is a crazy motherfucker that never says anything right. Right? Am I right?
right. I really, you know what we need to do? We need to get like a short clip of Bedell saying right.
One day, I don't want to I don't know, jinx myself, but if I ever get, what the fuck? I'm sorry. For absolutely no reason in particular, I just want to say thank you, Aunt Jer. But moving on. What were we talking about? Maybe press play.
Fair enough.
belief in the supernatural. I'm telling you, after hearing Tucker Carlson, you might just start to believe in the supernatural yourself. There are too many pieces of the puzzle that fit perfectly together. Numerous influential personalities have raised these concerns only to be silenced, ridiculed, and ultimately canceled.
To be fair, half the people on that board really deserve to be ridiculed, even if they hadn't said anything about the supernatural. I mean, Don Jr., really? And Tucker Carlson is one of the few people who could convince me of the supernatural, because I don't think there's anything natural that could explain how that guy's brain operates. If he's got one, he may not have one. There may just be like a little demon in the back there with puppet strings going. I mean, I don't fucking know.
This is actually a great little picture of, or like storyboard. If you had to post on a wall all the people that you should unfollow, and if you happen to come across one of their claims, just like reject it outright. Jordan Peterson, Kanye West.
Jordan Peterson's on here twice. He's right here.
Barr.
Wait, is he on there twice?
Jordan
he deserves
Peterson's
to
be
be
here.
Well,
and he's also right here.
Crazy. Yes, he is. Oh my God, they
And-
can't even find enough crazy people. They have
Yep,
to reuse the
yep,
same ones.
Yep, Jordan Peterson here and here. Tucker Carlson is here and here.
Well, that's because he talks to himself.
This guy is here and here.
It's the same fucking picture. What the hell? Why?
Am I missing any?
I got Roy
anyone else?
or Scheider, not Roy, whatever his name is. On the far right, second one down. He's also on the far left at the top.
All right, second one done. This guy
Yep.
and
Far left on the top.
Is he
hat,
one of the-
hat down one on the left, far left? Is he the guy in the hat? Is that the same? It looks like it.
No,
Oh.
that guy and that guy are the same.
Yeah.
Oh, that was just the
And
same.
those are the exact
He's
same.
there
picture.
twice. You got that.
This guy
Wow.
might.
And then
be
what about three pictures to your left from where you are? The third on.
1, 2, 3,
It does.
him?
and
kinda look
him?
like him,
Yeah, those might be.
This might be
I
the
think
same
it's-
guy. Yeah.
Those might be the same person. Yeah.
That's him.
Wow.
So
Wait,
basically,
Tucker's on there three times.
Where
They can't find enough crazy
where's the
people in
third? I don't see
Hollywood.
the third. I
they
see
just
this
have
one.
to
I see this
repeat.
one.
This is so bad.
Where's the third
Rob,
one?
it's Rob Schneider. That's
This
it.
one.
Rob
Thank
Schneider. Yeah,
you.
you're right. Okay, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe
In
not.
any
Okay, but
sample
still.
size, any random sample, you're going to find a percentage of the population that's absolutely unhinged. And in Hollywood, they can't find enough unhinged people to actually make this board like original. They have to reuse several faces.
I mean, there
times.
are
They
more
can't-
crazy people, though. I mean,
Yeah, but they're sitting there
I
going
don't
like
see Graham
supernatural.
Hancock on
No,
here at all. Come on.
Indeed.
They're only in Hollywood.
How many
Does
women
the
are on
Ancient
here?
Aliens guy count? Because he should be up there.
There's only 4 women on here, right?
I only got wait, 1, 2,
Is that
3.
it does look like.
No.
You could get Jim
It looks
Carrey
like
up
him, but
there.
I don't think it quite
Jim
is.
Carrey wouldn't. Yeah, he wouldn't be out of place up there. But
No, he wouldn't, but like as a character, maybe not as a. I don't know. Maybe Jim
Well, yeah,
Carrey
the guy in 21
Right.
was, but yeah,
23.
or 23. Sorry, yeah. 23.
Yeah, that movie's nuts.
That's a crazy movie.
Yeah,
And I think
All
it's
right.
really the inspiration. I think Tucker Carlson thought that was a documentary. All right.
Now, let's go back to Tucker.
please don't.
Here's what I'm really surprised by, and I've actually stopped gathering string on, as we say in reporting, stopped gathering string
Gathering.
on this
You don't
gathering
say that in
information.
reporting, you
because-
say that
and I've actually
in conspiracy theory. Oh.
stopped gathering string on, as we say in reporting, stopped gathering string in this, gathering
Maybe
information.
it
because
is a reporting term. I don't know.
I'm satisfied that I know enough, and I don't really want to know that much more. Because what I think I know is, this doesn't help me at all to know that. So that's the conclusion I've reached. I'm usually pretty curious. I've stopped being curious about this because I don't want to know anymore. I think I know. I think I know what's up. So I can't prove it, so probably not going to articulate it. But
no, I
think know
can't
what's up.
prove it. So I'm just
Didn't
here.
they just say at the beginning of the video, by the end you're going to know and we'll
Yeah.
demonstrate
Yeah.
it? Okay.
I can't
To be
prove it.
fair,
I'm just asking questions.
So
To
we're
be
just
fair-
move the goalposts. We have literally moved the goalposts from one end to the field.
not
all the way to the
necessarily.
other side.
We're not even past. We're not even into minute number 4. I guess this is technically minute number 4 because of how indexing works.
Just
It doesn't matter.
finish your thought. Okay, keep straight line. Keep going.
Now, things
I
might
got
get a
nothing
bit
else.
weirder here, but I ask you to have a little patience and listen to Tucker all the way through. In just a few moments, he'll
Takes a
explain
lot
how
more
he
than a little
transformed from a skeptic to a believer, the influential figures he's met over the years,
Are skeptic and believer contradictory states of affairs?
Well, I mean, and all skeptics
skeptic-
are believers in something.
Well, and to be a skeptic simply means to have an open mind and to be willing to change your view. You could be a believer in something, but still hold a critical mind to that and other things. So to hold a specific belief does not preclude being skeptical.
Yeah, I feel like skepticism is defined first and foremost by like the requirement that your belief be justified or proportional to evidence in some way.
if you brought out a thesaurus, I mean,
Empty.
there'd be some overlap in your little Venn diagram of what it is, because you could say a skeptic of a particular issue is someone who does
You
not
could.
yet believe it.
You're
So
right.
you
You're right. That's
could
true.
make the argument, but it's really
That's true.
very clumsily done. There are better
Fair.
words.
I'm not. This is like 10 minutes ago. I'm not sure what deserved a key, but the chat is like.
Dude, a lot of it deserved a key. I also give a key.
I'm just saying
Launch.
though. Like,
Yeah,
wow.
we should
Probably
launch a
every
thing.
other statement though.
The key is responding to a bingo thing.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Nick
have
doesn't
all
know about. So, but yeah, I mean, if anybody is interested in getting bingo, it is pinned at the top of the chat. And even if you start late, I believe we are calling off anything. Like the
Oh,
cards will show you what's been called off.
they will.
So
It's
you,
highlighted.
yeah, it's they're highlighted. So
Is
you're never
the
too
guest
late to
host
start.
sobbing into his elbow? Is that like on the bingo thing?
That's a good idea.
Asking for a friend?
That's a good idea. Oh, yeah. I mean, I have a whole bunch of them.
No, you don't
Anyway.
have to. You don't have. No, that wasn't a proposal. That was a question. You realize there's a difference between an interrogatory and a suggestion.
I
I
really want a
don't.
shirt
I'm not a
made that
very
says
smart
this.
weasel.
You know, it's not natural capital. Okay, I like that one. I like that one. I think that's going to be my favorite comment of the night. Oh,
all confirm the startling truths he's about to share. Just imagine, Tucker understands how outlandish this can sound to the average person, whose biggest concern might be their next Amazon purchase. Yet, he chooses to speak
yeah, yes. For the 1 in 5 children who are born in below the poverty level, the next their biggest concern and their parents' biggest concern is their Amazon package. That's absolutely, and everyone in North Carolina is very worried
Yeah.
about their Amazon packages.
I mean, it was here. It's supposed to be here this morning, and way more concerned about where my Amazon package is than like trying to get this 3 feet of water out of my living room, or that pile of sticks over there is where my house used to stand.
Well, yeah, but if you're in a situation like that, people never act against their self-interest, so you would just move.
Oh, right.
Wait. So Blonde Bombshell just said Pucker Carlson believes in cash, and ball gags. Ask me how.
Don't ask me how I know.
No, I'm not going to ask. You didn't have to say that. That goes without saying. I believe you. I'm more than a little scared, but I'm not going to ask.
Well, he says he's a good family man, so I mean.
Well,
By the way,
what's a family without a ball gag? Yes,
Indeed.
Oh, sorry, what
Indeed.
by the way, Amazon was a bingo square.
Oh, I do want people to know I do keep the ball gag right next to the Bible, because they're each the cornerstone of a healthy relationship. It's just.
Oh, you should no, that is the right thing to do, because when Dr. Hip was on in January, he showed us the Lego Bible, which featured Ball Gag Eve.
I love it. Oh well, hey,
it was great.
Listen, no, Eve was not into ball gags. If you really want to talk ball gags, you got to talk Lilith. She was a blast.
They try to call it an apple, but we know what was going on.
Lilith was a blast. She came before Eve. She was in Genesis 1, not Genesis 2. And that's why there's 2 Genesis. She got kicked out of heaven because she wanted to be treated equally to Adam. She was made of the dust of the earth, like all human beings. In Genesis 1, Adam said, I don't like this woman because she's got a brain and because she speaks her mind. God says, okay, fine, banishes her to the only other place she can go, which is hell. And then creates from his rib in Genesis 2 another woman, Eve. This is where you get the Lilith fair from. This is where you get. So this is all Jewish, like trust me, Lilith was 10 times more fun than Eve.
Way more fun than Eve, right? And smarter. Like she came with her own tree of knowledge. She didn't need to eat from it to understand that women are the superior beings,
and she was not going to let Adam push her ass around, and he was just like, well,
no.
God, I have a formal complaint.
I know, right? All right, moving on.
Openly about these truths because they matter. We need more people like him who dare to tell it as it is. Let's listen to Tucker.
God.
But one thing that you notice about every world religion I'm familiar with, I'm interested in that topic, there are commonalities between religions. But there are commonalities that are very striking between all world religions I'm aware of and all creation myths.
Wait.
There's been like two like substantive sentences stated, and they're highly overlapping. Like if they had just been concisely stated, they would have been a judicious use of time. But no, he's like, blah blah blah, religions, blah blah blah. They're all sort of similar, but all religions share a thing in common.
Which is called the collective subconscious, and Jung.
Oh,
explained it
you
a
know what?
very
Maybe
long
that's where
time
he's
ago.
going with this, because
No, that's not what he's going
other
for.
than that, I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to call bullshit.
Yeah.
Normally, I would back up and let him like articulate, but we don't got time.
And one of them, and this is of course true for Christianity, very true, is that
But we're not going to
the
talk about
belief
all the
that-
world religions and everything that they have in common. You just have to trust me, bro.
Yeah, no, we're
Let's
just
just
going to
talk
talk
about
about
the one, Christianity, and
white,
Wasn't
blue
he
eyes.
The white Jesus with the white hair. I love it. I love it.
And the
Jesus.
blue eyes.
Yeah.
Blonde, blue-eyed Jesus. I mean,
yeah, it probably even has a trust fund and works in finance.
Well, listen, if his dad is God, I'm sure he's got one hell of a fucking trust fund. It's sort of like,
by the way,
dude,
anybody in chat, if you're willing to compromise finance for physics, I legit check all the boxes. Just saying.
Trust fund,
At-
blue eyes.
Physics 6'5". You have to round up, but you have to round up from 6'4.6". So
He's tall.
fair.
And you know what they say about tall guys, ladies. Nick is like, what did I walk
supernatural
into?
beings take physical
Can we
form.
just like morph
They
into
all believe.
OnlyFans?
No.
Can we please go back to Tucker Carlson, please?
Wow.
Sorry, you haven't. Wait, is that
Maya?
Wait,
this
I
is
don't think he knows what we're
conflict.
talking about. Like, part of me wants to show him what we're talking about, and part of me wants to know if that
you're
song is
right.
copywritten.
So
Well, the other thing,
fine.
the other thing is, I'm just wondering, like, do you have any mods? Because like the live chat
No.
just seems a little out of control, and I'm just like,
not-
No,
Not that are
yeah,
gonna-
no. The live
Our
chat being
mods-
out of control is a feature, not a bug.
oh, great.
our mods
Yay.
do not need us to babysit them. Our
Mm-mm.
mods know what's up.
You do have mods. Okay, now I'm
Maya, I'm pulling it
Actually,
up.
I think
I'm
all
doing
of our mods are in the chat right now, which is rare.
Uh,
And it's also rare for us to have 60 people here. So you are well loved, Nick. People love seeing you uncomfortable.
I've noticed. It's a delight to be here. And by the way, if anybody else gets the opportunity to come on this show, take my advice and don't.
Fun here.
All right.
All right.
Oh dear Lord, I have a bad feeling I'm going to regret not pretending to know what.
No, this is going to be stuck in your head all day tomorrow.
Oh, thank you very much for that.
I'm looking
This is not the original, by the way.
Aren't we supposed to be doing Tucker Carlson? Okay, never mind.
for a man
Continue.
in finance, trust fund, 6'5", blue eyes, finance, trust fund, 6'5", blue eyes, blue eyes, blue eyes. I'm looking for a man in finance, trust fund, 6'5", blue eyes, finance, trust fund, 6'5", blue eyes. I'm looking for a man in finance,
down.
trust fund.
I missed most of the video because Tapioca Weasel was dancing, and somehow I just couldn't take my eyes off of it.
That works for the
he's,
side chat too.
Quite captivating. I think Bree has a. She like did a video of him, but a whole screen of him.
It wasn't for
Twerking?
that. It was that was actually Beamsy.
Okay, does anybody here know about those military codes that people blink when they're hostages? I'm just asking. Like, has anyone
Yeah,
does anyone know what those codes are? Because
But the
it's
SOS
dot,
code?
Yeah.
it's dot dash dot or vice versa. But if you do one of them repeatedly, somebody will pay attention. But Maya will boot you from the stream, so then they won't be
Really?
paying attention.
I'd have started that a
But-
while ago if I'd realized.
Oh god damn it!
Why didn't someone tell
The
me
Greek
this
myths.
sooner?
But that they take physical form, that they're not just like some ethereal, they're not just shadows floating around, specters, fog, that they're physical. Like, they're as real as the arm of your chair.
So fog is not physical because it's not like I can't it won't stop my hand if I whack it with my hand, and that's what we're qualifying as physical.
Yeah.
Well, he just
Because
showed Jesus on the road to Damascus carrying the cross. So it's sort of like, I guess he means by physically means, I mean, if you can nail it to a cross, I assume it's physical. I mean, that maybe
I would agree with that. I can't think of a counterexample.
okay.
Like
well,
I can't think of an example where you can nail it to a cross, but it's not physical.
Yeah.
I do think that
can we
this is
experiment
actually his
on
fucking
Tucker?
name. I mean, his fucking name, his middle name.
Yeah, I mean they should have capitalized it at least.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there. I thought it was funny.
I would love to name. Are you legally allowed to name your child with a lowercase first letter, or will the courts yell at you?
I
think-
so I think it. I don't know. All I see is Social Security cards, and I think they're all caps.
I think they are all caps. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and we learned about that because if it's not all caps, then you're not a corporation, and then they can't legally send you to jail, and you have to pay rent or something.
Because you're a sovereign citizen. Yeah.
Well, you're not a sovereign. Well, right. We are we are not sovereign.
All of us
sorry.
are
We are
sovereign.
sovereign citizens, but we have to access our name in all lower cases to avoid the courts or anything legal. Is that how that works?
I just want to say,
wanted me on. The shills were just like, Nick, come on. I said, no, I'm going to a place that's got class. That's what I said.
And that they reproduce with people. Immaculate conception. Spirit
oh, what Immaculate Conception is, for the record.
reproduces with human woman.
Immaculate Conception was the conception of Mary without original sin. It's not the same thing.
That's what the story is. And it's described in Genesis as well, in Genesis 6. But again, it's not just the religion of the ancient Hebrews or the religion of the modern Christians. It's Hinduism as well, and the animist religions.
I kind of think
religions
Mary
of-
wasn't in Hinduism, but I could be wrong.
I mean, are you a scholar of Hinduism?
I am not. That's why I acknowledged I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I do think I know there's Immaculate Conception in there, but there's Immaculate Conception in what is it in heathenry as well. But anyways, let's continue.
Oh, actually, really quick, Blonde Bomb Scheller has a question for you, Nick.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Of course she does. No, I don't think I'm going to ask that one either. This is why I was asking about your mods. This is a very good example of why I brought up the modding policy on this. Do you guys have a service like that?
Actually, I have it in good
This isn't
authority.
Someone tonight
has in fact been modded. Mods are on it tonight.
I really don't want to know who's been modded.
You don't. You're not allowed to say his name 3 times. He might out-respond back.
Well, he's already back, so there's not much I can do about that. We've already said his name once. That's
Not Titan.
Titan isn't a new mod. Titan.
Yeah, well, you can't get a count without a.
There are 2 people on this channel that were a mod before Titan, and the only reason I bring that up is because I was one of them.
And everybody's very proud. So let's.
To the extent we understand them or know about them, of the American Indians, all the same. So if every culture in the world that we know about has left any kind of written or physical record, is reaching the same conclusions about something, maybe there's something there.
None of their
And maybe
conclusions are the same. None of them.
None of them. I don't understand. Well,
I-
I do understand what he's trying to say. All the world religions support and affirm Christianity.
Yeah,
Or
but
at a
don't.
minimum, an afterlife and something supernatural. But the other thing that basically, to the best of my understanding, they all affirm as well, including Christianity, is polytheism.
Hmm.
The factoid they try and give a lot of the time is that they all say a similar story about the flood, but they just obviously don't in any convincing way.
Well, and since
And
there are Chinese records that predate the flood and that postdate the flood, and there's 12 other societies in the Mesopotamian region that have records that both predate and postdate the flood in the same language, and the records are consistent throughout the entire thing. You're going to have a problem there when trying to say that there was a global flood.
exactly, yeah. I mean, but even when they're just comparing, they're like they all have a flood, and like literally, if to get any sort of broad worldwide agreement amongst civilizations of their myths and whatnot, you have to be as general as there is a flood myth, which is completely unconvincing. Floods are a thing that are very distressing to a society, no matter what the size.
Jesus, Tapioca Weekle, they're called women, not broads.
I did
You'd have to
miss.
go back. You'd have to go back 45 seconds to catch that, but again, it was worth holding on to. Sorry, Maya, I cut you off.
I like half an hour ago, and I was like checking to make sure I didn't miss anything, and I was like, oh, holy crap, I did miss something. So I do apologize, Sinister Porpoise, friend of the show. We love you so much here. Mwah, mwah, mwah. For $2, Sinister Porpoise said, are solipsism, recursion, or magnets worse? I believe that's a tapioca question.
No. Can we not get back to Can we get back to Tucker
maybe it's
Carlson?
not so crazy to think that what everyone else has always thought since the beginning of time, which that there is this combination in cases of, human beings and the spiritual realm, whatever that is. I can speak about it with no precision at all because I don't understand the specifics of it, but
I mean, how bold.
Way to commit.
Just say the quiet part out loud. I can have
He's good at
no
that.
idea what I'm talking about. I can just say words and I don't have to have any justification for it because
What are words?
Yeah, that's a really great point. He's like, I don't have to defend it because I'm not even saying it's real. I'm just saying,
For $2, Fern Love Bond says,
sorry. Yeah.
as long as we aren't breaking rules, let chaos reign. And that it has, Fern. That it has.
Mark has arrived. Mark, get help. Sorry, let's continue, please. This has been a delight.
I do want to thank Sinister, and I'm trying to find it. I don't know where she went, but Sinister Porpoise has become a cultist for 4 months. She's joined us back for 4 months. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Sinister. Please continue to enjoy your tapioca weasels. Your tapioca weasels, your nitties, and vaginas.
And yeah, by the way, Al Trucker in the chat, he made a bingo card. It's pinned to the top. You can join as late as you want. The highlighted squares that have already been called, you can just click them all, and it's super easy and fun. It's great. All right.
Not what I meant, Mark.
since people have been writing.
I told you this might get a bit weird, but let's really dive into it by examining Genesis 6.
He's not wrong.
The sons of God saw the
First thing they've
daughters of
said
men
that's
that they were
accurate.
fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. Now,
Yeah, I feel like consent is a very one-way street in this passage,
You think?
right? Like
Think of
they
the Bible
took
in
them
general.
wives of all which they chose. That's really a toxic message to give to people because they listen to it.
You mean broads listen to it, don't you? We know what you know what we know where you stand on this.
I have a very short attention span, and I'm unable to properly defend myself against this probably valid criticism.
Now, with the context Tucker has given us, this verse doesn't just seem like an ancient text. It resonates with real significance. It's intriguing to think that Tucker's understanding of these events comes not
It really is a cult of personality with Tucker, though.
from mere speculation, but from conversations with powerful individuals who have had direct, first-hand experiences. Imagine the depth of knowledge held by secret societies and the kind of information that flows through the corridors of power.
You have to imagine it because it isn't real.
Thank you. Are you saying that the pyramid with the eye doesn't, and the masons are you a mason?
No.
My
But then again, if I was,
a
I'd have to deny it. So I'm just saying, I don't understand why you'd even ask.
I don't know
Yes, the
Masons who
pyramid has
deny it.
13 levels. It has nothing to do with masonry. It's because 13 is the lucky number of this country. That's also why it has 13. The eagle on the other side has 13 arrows.
Wait, 13 is the lucky number
Yes,
of this country? I missed that. What
33.
happened?
because there were 13 colonies.
Oh, okay, gotcha,
Oh,
gotcha.
yes, never mind.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about 33, which is
No, 13.
No, that's Mason talk. And shut up. You're gonna make them not.
Don't worry,
get
fellas. I
pushed
covered
out
it.
this
I
week.
covered it, guys. They almost caught me, but it's okay.
places like the Vatican. What might they know about the true nature of our world? Tucker tells us that his journey into these discussions has been eye-opening. He has spoken with insiders, learned from them, and
Real quick. I just want to, I'm sorry. I just want to quickly give all the claims that Tucker has given us, or I'm sorry, all the references Tucker has given us for his claims. All right, carry on.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
Hey, that's not fair. No, stop. Cat Williams. Yeah. So his primary source appears to be Cat Williams. He showed some photos of other people that might be sources, but his primary source, he has said more than once, is Cat Williams. And the scary thing is, this is not a joke. I'm not that fucking funny. I'm just not.
Don't sell yourself short.
struck by the consistency and gravity of what they disclosed. Let's now turn our attention back to Tucker as he explains how he started these conversations, the types of people he engaged with, and the reactions he encountered. This is where things start to connect, shedding light on the darker, more obscured aspects of our history and reality.
I got really interested in it, and since that is my job, that's literally my job, is to call people and see them and have dinner with them and talk to them, and that's what I've done my whole life. So it's like that's just natural for me. It's not a hobby. It's my profession. I hate to use the word reporting because it's been so discredited by the
I'm gonna let him finish this thought.
liars. Oh, we've done a lot of reporting. I hate to use the word reporting because it's been so discredited by the liars. Oh, we've done a lot of reporting. Here at NBC News, we've done a lot of reporting. Liar. You know, you talk to some flack at CIA who told you a bunch of lies, which you're now repeating to me and my kids, so shut up. You've been done any reporting.
Yeah. I wanted him to get like some of the context of the stupidity he was spewing out. Because it was important to appreciate, the stupidity. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he reports. He literally sits down and talks to people because interviewing is the exact same as reporting. But talking to somebody whose job it is to do the thing, like the primary source, they're automatic liars and you can't trust them.
I mean, to be fair, I think we would all agree that of all possible sources, a direct line from the CIA would be one that would be high on the skepticism list. But you're right, Maya. Like,
If I was talking to someone who wanted to be anonymous source in this from the CIA,
anonymous, yes, yeah.
If it was their job to do the thing, like they were in charge of, whatever it is that we're looking for, right? I would trust their word more than Vladimir Putin's.
You don't say.
Just saying. I mean, but the thing is, you want to talk to that person, but you also want to corroborate the information. So you're not just taking their word. And is really interesting. That the take that he's doing here, where it's, oh, you just need to talk to people that you trust, and that's totally fine. That's all you need to do. There's no
Maya, you and I should continue opining in great detail about the nuances of investigative journalism and not let our very relevantly experienced guests discuss it.
okay. You know what? I'm not gonna disparage Nick at the moment.
Well, thank you, because I'm feeling rather
I'm just gonna
vulnerable.
let the
But,
white man tell the little lady to shut up.
Oh, hey,
shit.
normally that's aimed at me. Normally that's aimed at me, and it
It's
was
Well,
this
again,
time
that's
too.
kind of the point. It was my understanding it would be continued to be aimed in your general direction, not
Right,
mine.
right.
Well,
I've
yeah,
been told to shut up by a man, so I have nothing. I can do nothing else other than
Yeah.
let you talk, Nick.
The man who told you to shut up
But
in
in
that
other
context
words,
was definitely me.
wow, Left-Handed Jedi has been a member for 8 months. Jedi, thanks for being such a goat.
He always the
And
lucky.
you to enjoy your tapioca weasels, your nitties, and vaginas.
I do appreciate that you always mention the tapioca weasels, even though you've just like booted me. Like,
People love
thank
them
you.
for reasons.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Okay,
Oh.
I'm going to say this.
Oh
He is
wow! And
responsible
I
for the
keep
death of
missing. I keep
Yeah.
missing things from Sinister
Oh,
Porpoise. Holy shit! For $2, Sinister Porpoise says, "Why in hell is anyone taking Tucker seriously? Because Christians, white nationalists in particular, find him to be incredibly serious. So Tucker has decided to get on this whatever show he was on and tell the Christians that they should continue to only listen to people they trust, i.e., their pastor, and not listen to anybody, like those weirdos on, credible news channels talk about facts and where they got them from. So, yeah, there's that. All right, I guess we're out of stuff and there's nothing left to do but oh, wait a minute. We got more people that are members. Oh, where are we at?
Well, there was somebody named Dr. Tapioca Weasel. I am oppressed. Right now, I'm jealous.
Nick, would you like to introduce where am I at here? I wish these would always highlight. Mark Reed has been a member for 6 months. Holy crap. Nick, would you like to thank Mark for being a member for 6 months?
Thank you so much for being a member for 6 months. We, all of us here at whatever channel this is, sincerely appreciate your support. And this Maya person here also very much appreciates, and her invisible,
Goddess.
non-existent co-host, the goddess here, appreciates it, as does her co-host silently from his cage in the back. And if just as a quick reminder, those of you in the back there, if you could maybe up the voltage on the cattle prods, because we are hearing him up front and he is making quite a noise and it's distracting. Thank you. Thank you again for your support.
Mark, please enjoy your tapioca weasels, your nitties, and vaginas.
Nipple clamps.
I hate to use the word reporting, but
Don't
just
I have great timing?
I don't think they heard. I think they heard the last. Like,
I heard
half
it,
of the
and I'm really
syllable.
I'm like, I probably did deserve that one. So there's nothing I can do because I deserved it. But I'm not pleased. Karma's
it's
a
like
bitch.
just like satisfying your curiosity by trying to identify who might know, talking to a bunch of people about it, assessing who's telling the truth. Maybe they're wrong anyway, but you can kind of feel whether someone's telling the truth. And there's
Yeah, I can feel it, and my feeling is that you're a lying liar who lies, Tucker. Am I wrong?
No, that's like perfectly describes him.
Even I can't add to that. You got it.
there are ways to know or to get closer to knowing whether someone's telling the truth, and just talk to a lot of people. And I've done that. because I got really interested in it, sort of by accident. I never thought I'd be interested in this at all. And so I talked to a lot of people, and I was really shocked by what credible people told me.
I do want to say something serious for a minute, because okay, so yeah, we've been doing In Time for 4 years, and one of the things I've noticed is when people talk more about the idea and the sources that they used instead of actually getting into the meat and so he has been building this up for this whole time. There is showmanship. There has to be showmanship. There's showmanship. There's making jokes, good time. Yes, there is a craft to that, but the reality is he hasn't actually he all this is set up, and then by the end he's going to see how I set that up. We're done. It's been proven. He hasn't even really named the sources except for Cat Williams, which I'm going to say is I'm doubtful for any number of reasons. So it's just
was that Tucker? Did Tucker name Cat Williams, or did the narrator of the video name Cat Williams?
Somebody used the quote from Cat Williams, and I don't remember who it was. But frankly, at this point, I think
guess. God damn it!
It's intellectually equally valid to say it was either of them, because clearly, anybody who would like narrate this thing is just as off his rocker as Carlson is. So I just wanted to point that out. He just keeps referencing how awesome his sources are, but he's not. And then I loved the other one that was a while back where he said that he was giving a command. It was really interesting. He said, "Imagine what these societies know." He's instructing you to imagine that they must know something supernatural. He's actually planting the thought in your head. He's not giving any evidence that Freemasons, that Skull and Bones, and they mention those, but imagine what they must know. I have no idea what they must know except for the same things that I know. I mean, they're a secret society, but why does that mean that there's anything super? It's wow.
All right, so my apologies. I guess I called Jester Jedi, and probably because I'm used to Jedi doing so much stuff. I'm so sorry, Jester. I love you so much. Please accept my apologies.
They could all be wrong. Of course, I can't prove it, but I became completely satisfied, I'll say that they were not lying and that they were right or in the vicinity of right. I always assume the details are wrong.
That's objectively a funny sentence. It's also one that I do intrinsically have a lot of sympathy for, but you don't say it that way in this context. What is wrong with you?
Well, you realize if a proposition has only two possibilities, it's either true or false, then the other possibility is at least in the vicinity of being right, because it's actually just one removed from being right. I mean, false is just so close to being true.
Oh my God. I got nothing.
I was a police
I have a lot, but it involves quantum mechanics and is very obnoxious.
Reporter for a while, and you interview someone like a shooting. You've obviously seen shootings, but most people don't see shootings. So you think if you saw a shooting, you'd remember every detail of the shooting. They get them all wrong.
So, question: do people who observe shootings get every detail right? I know he's not saying that, but
most of the details wrong.
Yeah,
most of them.
Yeah.
It is. This is not a surprising thing. He's making it sound way more. I feel like most people know that at this point. Maybe I'm wrong. I've never selected a jury. People who select juries.
I can't. I mean, not even we didn't even need. We do have peer reviewed on aspects of why people get things so wrong, but yeah, no, it's just.
Cops have a saying. Cops have a saying: if you have 12 witnesses to a bank robbery, you'll get 20 descriptions of the suspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People aren't good at detail. Okay, that's just true. But they are good at themes.
Yeah.
They're good at themes. They remember the guy's fat. He may have been 400 pounds. He may have been 280. He was fat.
Oh, God damn it.
And fat is not a theme. Wait a minute.
No,
fat is a theme.
What is happening?
He's talking out of his ass. That's what is happening. Wow. Just to get a blackout? Is that what he's saying? 100% bingo?
My top
You got a good card.
three. My top three when I'm reading books, literary books. My top three themes are estrangement, self understanding, and fat. I just think, if you're going to write a literary piece, like Pride and Prejudice falls into obviously a little bit of each of the first two categories, but please don't underestimate fat, especially in books, great works like Dune. I mean, fat is just a thing. So
Yeah, and I'm calling this like a fat girl. This is fat girl winner, but Bree, you spelled fat wrong. It's PHAT. Fat girls rule. I'm there with you too. We're all getting fat this winter.
Yeah, I just think that like it says something about our society that was the example that immediately occurred to him that would be like non-problematic,
That's an
you
interesting
know?
point.
And he's like, "Oh, I can make fun of fat people." And it's like, yeah.
Well, and there is a theme, actually. The theme is that that a crime occurred, there was violence in that crime, and that crime was likely the robbery of a bank or whatever, a shooting. I mean, that is a theme, and the people will remember that theme. The details are, fat, thin,
Yeah.
whatever the hell else he's full of shit. And the memories actually rewrite themselves every time you access them.
Actually, yeah, and I was actually going to say that, Karen. Well, Karen mentioned it, and I was going to say that that's every time you
Yeah, well, you recreate it,
recall, every time you recall a memory, you're actually
and
recreating
overwriting.
it.
You're
Yep,
recreating
yep,
it and overwrite the original with
yep.
the new one, and you do that every time you try to remember it.
Yeah, and with your own, like with your new experiences, get flavors it.
I
Or
I
whatever
have to,
master you're trying to serve at the time. So if you're remembering it for a specific reason, you will
Yep.
then encode it with that reason now
Thank you.
encoded into.
Saying it better than I could at 11 o'clock at night, but
I have
yes,
like
you're saying the
a
same thing.
specific example that I always give for this.
Mhm.
I was told a story about how I broke a mercury thermometer in my mouth. And
Oh
like my mom
God.
was like, "Oh my God, like my kid just broke a mercury thermometer in his mouth." Um, and that might explain a lot, but moving on. Um, I was too young to remember that. But I totally remember it. However, my memory is demonstrably inaccurate because we got our house remodeled and all of my memories are from a time when that would have been impossible.
Well, your memories might be a little more accurate if you stopped eating mercury. That's just a thought. Let's continue with the show.
Yeah, I mean, I did it the one time, and
How do you
like
know
I
you did
said,
it the one time? If you've been eating mercury, I mean, for all you know, you've been like freebasing it for like 7 years, and you wiped out all the memories, but that quote one time. It's convenient too. It's just, well, officer, it was only the one time. Okay.
yeah, but there's 18 or 19 other things that I've also been freebasing, right? And my memories on those, I have a log. It's very like
I don't know how we got so far off the topic.
moving on.
Freebasing
Like,
mercury.
if everyone says the guy was fat, he was fat. I know I don't trust I don't trust anybody, actually. You know what I mean? Like, it's not my job to trust people, so it's my job to assess
It's not my job to trust people either, but like when God damn it, I don't
whether what they're saying
Well,
is
didn't
right
he
or not.
just
So I
say you
talk
only talk to people you trust? So when you're doing the job that he's talking about, that he doesn't want to call reporting anymore because he
Did he say
ruined it
that?
for everybody. He said only talk to people, or he said I listen to the people you trust. But now he just said he doesn't trust anybody. So he's trying to get credit for being a skeptic while also saying only listen to certain kinds of people.
Well, that's just bullshit. That is just
Yeah.
self-contradictory hot nonsense.
Wait, are you
So
saying Carlson?
Doorknob Head is concerned about the mercury.
That's fair.
Damage the mercury.
I have a lot of I'm a very radioactive person in terms of like my personality and like who I am and what I represent. So like
Titan has a good point
all
here.
valid. Yeah, well, I mean, don't knock it till you've tried it. I'm not saying that to you, Titan. I know you know what's up, but other people.
If he's ready to talk, I'm
Oh,
sitting over
wait a
here.
minute. You know what? We almost did Ken Wheeler tonight. He was annoying me though, and we just didn't get there.
Maya, I annoy you every weekend. I still get here.
Yeah, I could only do so much. But we will have. Yeah, we haven't done Ken in a while. We're gonna have to bring him back. Ken's
You
been
said
on
it, not me. Not gonna let you forget
Ken,
it.
Ken's been on a Trump train. A lot of his videos have been
Mm.
uh political and I say political, but just like weird. We'll get back to him.
Like
I just need to figure out what I want to use him for.
he has a certain type of attractive, incoherent nonsense,
Hmm.
and it's not his political incoherent nonsense.
I do appreciate that when it comes to the nonsense. You guys did pick something that was very much in my wheelhouse. So thank you. That was very thoughtful and considerate. And the Mercury backstage was delightful as well. Thank you.
Yeah,
Name to place.
this is what I'm saying. I bring a lot to the table, Maya. You
Yeah.
always say I don't.
You never hit
I
the play
thought
button
had
though.
Uh,
firsthand knowledge. I talked to a number of them. And then I was like, whoa, I'm out. Because I don't need to go farther than that. I mean, I think that the real struggles are unseen. That is absolutely a part of Christian theology. I didn't fully appreciate it at
Wait,
all.
what?
It's a part of
Wait, he's saying that I don't need to look into anything because the real problems are unseen.
yeah, because demons did it, Maya.
Oh, right.
Like Maya.
Uh-huh.
Okay, are you saying that you can explain the flare in lighting in the crest behind Nick, in like a solid, physically realistic way?
Oh, yeah,
'Cause
no.
I don't think so. I think that that's supernatural. I don't think
Yeah,
that's flare. I think
obviously.
it's an illusion.
Because when Nick goes like this, it doesn't hit him, and so because he can't touch him, it's
Well, and
really not visible.
until
So
anyone comes up with another explanation, you have to go with the supernatural as the
yeah,
default
yeah.
position. I think that.
So that light up there, obviously God did it. Or my go-to, it was aliens. The answer is always aliens.
And Tucker's saying it's God. I think
Wait,
he's just
God's an
saying that.
alien.
yeah,
Oh,
but like, don't you know where you are?
well,
Now
yeah.
I don't.
So
We didn't.
You know what?
yeah.
I knew we should have done one
I
of our
know.
pyramid videos. Nick is not a believer.
Yeah, I mean, he's also
You
just
guys
like
have
if
been
he
reading
doesn't.
too much Carrier, is all I'm saying.
Oh, whew. All right. Shots fired.
every theology. In fact, it is
I have no response. Well done.
theology. That is theology. The belief that the real struggles are in the spiritual realm. That has been a constant belief since the beginning of history, recorded history. Everybody has thought that, except
Everybody.
us. Of history, recorded history. Everybody has thought that, except us in the West, since 1945.
Wait,
I was confused
I
about that
wait,
detail at the end.
wait. Can you like
Does
put it back
anyone
to
have
the
a
beginning of the
dictionary?
sentence?
Yeah.
I that might that was like 4 videos ago though, probably. No, I shouldn't say that. He's a lot of things. He's not that bad at the run-on sentence. But I'll start from here. This was a while back.
To assess whether what they're saying is right or not. So I talked to people who I thought had firsthand knowledge, and I talked to a number of them. And then I was like, whoa, I'm out. Because I don't need to go farther than that. I mean, I think that the real struggles are unseen. That is absolutely a part of Christian theology. I didn't fully appreciate it at all. It's a part of every theology. In fact, it is theology. That is theology. The belief that the real struggles are in the spiritual realm. That has been a constant belief since the beginning of history, recorded history.
Oh no, let finish.
Everybody has thought that, except us in the West, since 1945. I can't say that enough.
Not even remotely close to true. First
Yeah.
of all, China doesn't believe that. The atheists are the majority in Scandinavian countries. There was a guy named Stalin that some people have heard of that was really kind of against religion. I mean, not in a big way. I mean, he only murdered like 40 million people, but other than that, yeah, other than that, everybody's believed it.
I mean, but even today, though, like, I just is he saying that what like since World War II ended, what does he think people believe? Like,
I think he's
I,
saying the U.S. has become a godless country.
but
oh, right,
1945 is a
okay.
remarkably specific time. Like, give a reason for it. What happened in 1945? Was it the nukes? Like, of all the things that
That's
you
a good
could
point. I
choose,
mean, yeah.
that like would be the best thing to choose. But
I don't know, but for $2, Jester, Lord Scumbag. Okay, wow. Um, so how did magnets cause all this fucker stuff?
I swear to God, I did not do that.
No,
He
no,
was
he
drawing fire.
and,
So as
and
far
and it's funny because he does not know how to get himself back up there. Oh,
boom.
here I am. What you
all
gonna do about
right.
it?
Oh, probably this. God damn it.
It's a delight to be on a professionally run show. It's yeah.
I'm gonna
Of
move
course.
myself around and make it
All right.
hard for Maya to fix it.
All right. Well, this is how I'm choosing to fix it. Holy shit.
Dear Lord. Oh. No, they can't. And there's like I said, if the voltage again on the cattle prod just isn't quite there yet, you guys are doing better. But or the ball gag again, not to bring that up again. It's next to the Bible. It's King James version, so you're fine. Just I don't think anyone can hear you.
Nope. No. You'd be waiting a
Well,
long
I
fucking
really
time.
appreciate. Wow, that I didn't realize you felt that way about Maya. That's awfully kind of you to say. I
Hmm.
think should
Hmm.
bring you back on so that other people could hear it. But I understand that you want to keep your dignity intact. So, but
No, he's digging out.
let me just suggest that inside jokes that only the hosts can hear are absolutely hilarious to
No, they all
everybody
know he's into
except
nipple
Elijah.
clamps.
Yeah, he.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, like all this
I
stuff
don't
he's
think he
saying.
got the idea himself.
Look, I mean, look, put the butt plugs away. God damn it. Look, Nick does not want to
Oh
see all your sex
dear Lord.
toys.
Okay, hold on. I'm just like, okay,
Look,
PTSD now. Hold on. I
look,
just
did you have to bring out the
wow.
pink vibrator?
Yeah, that was unnecessary. I didn't know you could do that with. I mean, that was wow.
Look,
You're
put your ass
flexible.
back in your pants. Look, I'll bring you back on. Just put your pants back on. God damn it.
I think that's a good. I think that's wise. Why don't we do that?
I didn't know you could do that with an aquarium. Okay, I'm
All
sorry.
right, here we're going. All right, all right. Just
I,
Jester, I blame you.
I I was trying to help.
Were you? Were
So once you
you?
get
Of a sort.
perspective on this question, you're like, okay, that may sound crazy to someone who thinks buying on Amazon is the meaning of life, but to
I've never met anybody who thinks buying shit on Amazon is the meaning of life. Have you guys ever met anybody?
The meaning of life. I mean, do you maybe people with the shop? I've never met anyone, no, but like if you have a shopping addiction and it just like hits that urge,
Yeah,
but
no. I can imagine it. Of all of the like possible things that they've said, it's one of the more reasonable ones. But that doesn't mean it's reasonable.
it's a
Like,
straw man argument. Correct. I concur.
every other
thank you. I need that validation whenever I get kicked off stream for a remarkable period of time, even though I have a very good. Never mind.
Is the fish okay, by the way? Because he didn't take the fish out of the tank before he did that. It's just at least
no,
it didn't
yeah,
look
that
good to me
was
here.
it's
I
actually
stopped
quite
looking as
rude.
soon as
You know, you should
yeah.
ask people before you do things like that.
I think the live chat's really thankful that they didn't see that, and so are you, because you would have been demonetized like faster than I am, and I'm usually, I mean,
Yeah, right. They love demonetizing you. Yeah.
yes, they do.
I, on the other hand, have never really been monetized.
What do you call our cultists, Maya?
Tapioca weasels.
Thank you.
Agree about what the truth is. I'm sure we will, but we will never disagree
Acolytes of the goddess.
with the fact that there's a lot going on that we cannot see or measure with our senses. That is absolutely true.
If this is true,
It is true that there are things that you cannot directly, reliably describe with just directly your senses.
He's equivocating. He's using the same terminology in two different ways. So what he's
Damn
yeah.
right he is.
That's exactly what he's doing. So he is technically correct, but he's using
So
that
that's
lies,
kind of correct.
lies, damn lies, and statistics. He's lying by saying something that is scientifically true, but nobody's going to interpret it the way he's saying it. Or that
Also-
you understand what I'm saying. They're not going to interpret it accurately.
Exactly. Also, this right here, totally Majora's Mask. Just saying.
Okay.
and I'm inclined to believe it is,
Majora's Mask. Okay,
I've never heard of it.
this is a Zelda game, and this is
Ah.
the mask. Majora's Mask looks like what's on screen right now a little bit. It looked like it more a little bit before.
just imagine what it means for our understanding.
I'd like to point out that if a certain head mod on a certain very late channel hadn't gone around telling loads of people about this program, I might still have a shred of dignity somewhere. And
Thank you, Chad.
I'm
You
not
should-
blaming any Titan in particular, but I'm just saying. Okay, anyways, let's continue, because I guess people want to see the show.
If your anus is loose, it's not your fault.
Of reality. This could prompt us to reconsider everything we think we know. While it may not be exactly as we've imagined, there's likely some truth in these stories and testimonies. If evil exists, then so must good. And if good
Was that connected to the first half of the paragraph?
Well, it's all he's hedging all of it. I mean, he's just like, there might be and there could be, and if he says that enough times, you can't, in your brain you actually add all of those up to keep reducing the amount of skepticism you should have, when in fact you should be increasing it. So he's taking advantage of a cognitive. I don't know which one that would be. I'd have to look them up, but he's taking advantage of a cognitive bias.
Listen, Maya and I have been doing this a long time. He was not edging us, okay? I know what edging looks like, and it wasn't that. Okay?
Hedging.
Oh, that's my bad. Sorry.
I do not like you
good
anymore.
exists,
You never did.
choosing
Well,
what could be our
I
path
lied. I never did. That's true. I got called out.
to making things right. I believe it's that simple. I'll let you draw your own conclusions and decide for yourself what to make of this information. But let's consider this. We might never disagree on the fact that there's a lot happening around us that we cannot see or measure with our senses.
I think we're all on board.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
This is absolutely true. Consider that humans can see only about 0.005% of the electromagnetic spectrum, known as
Oh, okay.
visible.
Okay, but the rest of visible light still exists in nature. So even though we cannot see it and cannot directly experience it, it is still natural. So this is now affirming the consequent, because what he's trying to get you to think is, well, gee, if we can't see it, if anything supernatural cannot be experienced, then as soon as you demonstrate that there are things that cannot be experienced, there must be the supernatural. It's called affirming the consequent. It's a fucking con job.
That's like a prototypical fallacy.
Yeah. It's one
Yeah.
of the most common ones, actually.
Yeah. I'm wondering, so
I hate it because I'm bringing philosophy into this.
no, I told you I was trying to get through a free will stream, and he wouldn't even answer the question. He's just,
I was. That's because I was gone for a while. I didn't. I responded to the question when I saw it, Maya.
But did you choose to leave, or what were you?
No, like he heard
Was it
free will
determined?
and just
Yeah.
automatically took a nap. Like just like free. Oh God, like just couldn't even get through the sentence. Knocked right out. But then I put on Tucker Carlson and he back snapped back up. I don't know. Yeah, he looked just like this. See, yeah.
I think
A
I
little
just like cut
meerkat.
out there for a moment. Sorry. Should I press play?
You should press play.
Please.
Okay.
I can't believe I just
Beyond
said
this
that, but yeah.
tiny sliver, there are extensive ranges of wavelengths, from
All
radio
right,
waves to
skeptical.
gamma rays.
Thank you. Thank you. Vlad, my guy, my main man. I told you we were tight, Maya.
That are invisible to the naked eye but affect our world profoundly. Imagine the possibilities that lie in the parts of the spectrum we can't see or directly perceive. What might be happening just beyond our sensory reach? Let's dive back into
We already
Tucker's insight.
know. We can detect it with other. We know what's happening just beyond visible light. With that, have you ever had a microwave dinner? By the way, you married the queen of microwave dinners, Swanson's. You know for a fact that microwaves exist and that we use them all the time. That's the only reason you have any money and anybody treats you with any dignity whatsoever is because you married someone related to microwaves.
But also,
He triggered
he's
me.
talking about things that we understand and that we only know about because of science, and saying, "Oh no, that's supernatural."
Yeah, because the thing is, Maya, if you haven't converted to the truth that is the flat Earth,
Oh God, look, you're trying
I
to get
wish he was.
kicked
I
again,
wish he
aren't
was
you?
saying that. I wish he was saying that. What he's saying is worse.
I mean,
He's
yeah,
saying
it would
might be.
actually make more sense. No, I can't remember this part, but I think it's just like, well, there are things that happen that we can't detect, therefore God. And I'm like, okay, but he just got through this long like monologue about like how everybody's believed all these things that, for like since the beginning of written, word. And I'm like, but that there's part of visible light that that we can't see. Um or there's a spectrum of light that we can't see, like that was not in any of those things. So what's your fucking point?
Well, bees can see some of that. So if bees can see that, does that mean they're God?
Did they write a holy book?
Mm. And by the way, Dr. Tapioca Weasel, I just wanted to remind you, it's all buoyancy.
I'm glad we have one thinking person on the panel, Okay.
Oh God.
That's not how you trigger me, by the way. There's a word that you can use to trigger me, and if you
Oh.
haven't learned it yet, you're
Where my
about
peeps
to.
at?
I know what it is, and I'm not gonna. I don't want to see you triggered again, and I don't want to see that happen to another goldfish. I think one was plenty.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's still alive. I can feel it.
The play button.
As he
God
explores
damn
the
it.
unseen and unacknowledged forces shaping our existence.
What I find so striking about the UFOs, this is the main takeaway I have, is like there's this debate like, is this stuff, these phenomena, which are clearly, obviously real, I mean, there's no debate about that. There's a lot that people can't explain in the sky and underwater. We know that. Fact. So the debate is this government technology, is it from outer space, or is it some spiritual realm here?
Is that the debate? Is the debate about UFOs and all of the various things that can be lumped under that category trifold? Is it government technology? I forget the second thing, or something religious nonsense. Please help me out.
So we disagree here. So am I right, or is Dr. Tapioca Weasel wrong?
Oh yeah, he's definitely wrong.
Yeah,
He
I-
couldn't possibly be right.
Well, no, I'm right, or he's wrong. Which is it? I'm just saying.
Yeah, and if he's right, then what? Hold on, wait a minute. This is a swindle, I see.
Welcome back to the show. Good to see you.
I'm not a smart person, okay? I have a brain case size of
You
1
have a-
cc.
What about the play button? Are
me.
you smart enough to hit
But what
that?
I find so interesting, we know the government's lied about it. They're lying about it now. That's a fact. There's no way around that. They've absolutely lied about it in very elaborate ways. I am really struck. Here's my current thinking on it. The main effort that the US government has put into its disinformation, its lying on this topic, has been not to mislead you on the technology. Their main interest is in convincing you that the supernatural is not real. That's
That's the main thing. That's what we.
By
I
some
don't even know that this is like the whole point of the show, like, or the show of the video.
Yeah, didn't he finally get to the yeah? Well, by some definitions, by the way, the supernatural can't be real. If you define real as anything that exists,
In the
supernatural
natural
is that
world.
which does not. So there, ergo, yeah. So
Yeah.
supernatural isn't real. I think, and since that's the trick he pulled at the very beginning of this shit, I think we get to do the same thing. If he's going to sit there and,
No, I agree.
define it into existence, I'm going to define it right back out of existence again.
My issue with the supernatural is, like, if you can give me a definition that I think is worthy of the name, that doesn't, by construction, rule itself out of being something that I'm going to see, go for it. But I don't see how you can do that. Like, if you're saying that these things are beyond the natural world, they're not going to be visible. They're not going to emit photons. They're not going to show up on my eyeballs. If they show up on my eyeballs, why don't they show up on a camera? Like, you can explain that, but it gets more and more and more ad hoc every layer.
And wasn't that Hitchens who said there's no difference between that which cannot be seen and that which does not exist?
For a generous definition of seen,
Yes, obviously a very that which cannot be experienced would be more accurate. But yes, I think we get
yeah. Our chat is the worst, Maya. I'm the first
No, we have the best
YouTuber
chat
to
on the
ever say
internet.
that. I'm the first YouTuber to ever say that our chat is just the
Well, I
worst.
mean, that's
I'm going to go with him.
it's
I'm
fucking
actually
rude.
with him
No,
on this one.
no,
I am totally with him on this one.
no. I
The
have the best
amount
chat on
of
the internet. No,
the
like,
amount of
look, no, I'm gonna stand. All right, okay. Listen to me.
I don't want to be alone on the stream ever again. The amount of nipple clamp like references that have been flying around make me truly uncomfortable. I'm sure there's been several HIPAA violations here, and I'm just gonna
Maya has a standing bulk order. It's not my.
It may not be your fault, but it doesn't seem like there's much you can do about it from your current position. It's just an observation. I think one of us at least
there are
is.
people in the media.
Maya's having a blast, from what I can tell.
Who specialize in spreading these lies on behalf of the government. I'm not going to name anybody, but like once you realize what the point of the exercise is, it's crazy. And I hope you'll assess all the fact-checking and the skepticism on UAPs through this lens. The main thing they want you to believe is the supernatural is not real.
I'm not going to lie.
All right, when I think supernatural, I think we're talking about two different things. I think he's talking about God, right? I'm pretty sure that's what he's getting at, is like Christianity is real and they don't want you to know about God, which
the divine
makes no fucking sense.
Well, yeah, I think that because he talks about good and evil, so it's not just God. He is. Yeah, I think you have to use a broader scope. The divine, I think I would concur.
I think he's talking. Okay, the only time he gets specific is when he brings up Christianity. He'll say, "Oh, all the religions," but he only uses it to support Christianity. Like, it always goes back to that. I'm pretty sure he's trying to make a case to say that Christianity is true, using Cat Williams, of course, every other religion in the world, and I think he's trying to debunk actual facts. Like, don't look at, other news channels. Don't, talk to scientists. They're all part of the they. You just need to find people who you trust, like your pastor or me.
Yeah.
Give us money. Yeah, and that's how you know what truth is.
Well,
I Because like when I think supernatural, I'm thinking like, ghost and poltergeist, Jin, the Japanese, oh, what do they have?
Um,
They have their, oh my God, I forget what it's called, but they have their ghost things too. Um, and actually the Japanese ghosts are actually pretty interesting. But like you I don't know. Nick doesn't think that aliens are supernatural. So, well, but I don't know. I even think of cryptids kind of a supernatural. It depends on which cryptid, though.
yeah, it does. Yeah,
Bigfoot could be a
it's,
dimension shifting cryptid, in which case
he's a
that would
fact
be he would have supernatural abilities
potentially.
potentially. Depends on which Bigfoot
It
person you
also
follow.
depends on which definition, because for me, if they would be detectable observationally, then no, they wouldn't be supernatural. They would just be natural. A new kind of natural that would be extremely exciting. All about that.
Well, I mean,
I have
but that's the
straight
thing,
up.
though, right? That's the point, though. There's no like Nick was saying, it would ultimately define itself out of existence,
out of or at least out of supernaturalism. Yeah, it's no longer supernatural, so
right? There is
supernatural
no
can't
such thing as
exist.
supernatural. There's
Yeah,
just technology that we don't understand.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I'm totally down with that.
And I think he's actually using a form essentially of the Kalam, but which works for the Abrahamic God anyway. But the whole point is that okay, we
Work.
must have gotten here somehow, and or there's supernatural stuff out there. If you can go that far, then the question is, do we have any way of knowing what that supernatural stuff is? Yes,
Hmm.
because there was a really nice guy named Yahweh who came down and wrote a book. And you can even get this book at your local library if you know what those are. I know many of you have never heard of one before, or at the bookstore, or at the Amazon where you worship. And you can go get this book that God made, and that's how we know that the God exists. And so you just go straight from there must be something supernatural to it has to be the God of Abraham.
Why
Oh,
is that important to you?
UFOs are real. Wait, did we talk about? Wait, UFOs are real. Did Tucker say that, or did we
He
say
did.
that?
He mentioned
Okay,
UFOs
gotcha.
in the last like. He's mentioned a lot of stuff. I think that probably he's been drinking the background,
Hmm.
as
Yeah,
one does.
yeah. As I'm ready to.
Why do you care if I think the supernatural is real? Like, why is that? First of all, why is it?
You're
How
on
dare
fucking
you, as my
TV
government?
telling people to believe the supernatural is real. Maybe that's why we would care.
Pot, meat, kettle. Um,
Fuck.
Yep.
Try to get
Why do you care if we say it's not? Like, I mean, yeah.
involved in my spiritual beliefs? That's totally not your area. So get
Hold on, hold on, hold on. Wait, where is it?
as my government try to get involved.
Project 2025.
holy shit, they didn't.
I am quite sure that of the three people on the stream, I am the least qualified to talk about Project 2025.
It's 900 pages. Like,
What
we're
is
already
that
3 minutes
even?
over.
Well, and it's made by the Heritage Foundation, which presumably Tucker is a huge fan of. I don't know
Hmm.
why.
Hmm.
I mean,
They give him
and
money.
yeah, and he gives them blowjob. I mean, he does
I mean, you're not wrong.
give her for yeah. I have no idea why Project Toy. You know what this is? This is subliminal programming. They're just trying. They're just dropping that into. They're so desperate to get people to buy Project 2025. They're just putting it into random shit.
I
Yeah.
know. Man, I didn't even notice that. Thank you for stopping here. Holy shit. Um, God. Yeah, no, we're not getting into all of this this stream, but I yeah.
Yeah, things just took a really weird left turn, and that's saying something.
Right. No, I would now this is something I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, no, I did not see this coming.
I got eagle eyes.
to my spiritual beliefs. That's totally not your area. So get out of there. Okay. A. But B, why has that been so important for 80 years for you to convince me the supernatural is not real? Why? Why is that? And of course, I can't answer the question.
Name one
But
person.
my-
Oh,
who's
of
tried
course
to
I
do that.
can't answer the question.
I can name one person. James Randi. Guess who hasn't been hired by the United States government to pursue that goal? James fucking Randi.
Yeah.
And also, everybody who met that guy liked him.
Yeah, well, shysters have to be charismatic to get people to buy their shit.
James Randi wasn't. He was
No,
awesome.
James Randi was the opposite of a shyster. But,
Oh, I'm sorry.
he
Who am I
busted
thinking
up a
of
lot
then?
of shysters.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
the question, I mean, name one person in power who's made any effort whatsoever to dissuade people from the supernatural. Next question, name one person who has been an avowed atheist who has ever been nominated by a major presidential party to rule this country. Go ahead, I'll wait.
It's
Yeah, I
never.
was gonna say.
It's
Yeah,
verboten.
so where's this pressure coming
society.
from? All the previous Christian presidents who've been a Democrat or Republican, they've shared one thing in common.
A top hat and devil horns.
No, that wasn't the one thing I was thinking, but thank you.
Was it nipple clamps?
Fuck.
A gut level response is, well, because if it is real, whatever they're telling you is not real. And if they're punishing you for
He
saying
did the
something
laugh.
you know for a fact it's not real, you're not allowed to say that. Oh, not because they don't have no problem with me lying, because they lie for a living. So lying, saying something you know for a fact it's not real, you're not allowed to say that. Oh, not because they don't have no problem with me lying, because they lie for a living. So lying.
I feel like he just said the quiet part out loud.
I think he did.
The way he said that, he's like, it's okay for me to lie.
And they know, and everybody knows I'm lying.
Yeah.
That kind of sounds to me like what he just said. Like, everybody knows I lie.
It wasn't.
Nobody expects me to tell the truth.
Words. Exactly. And there are times and places where that's like kind of legitimate, I think. Potentially.
I love this. Titan knows how to get two birds.
Oh, dude, that's
Okay.
Maya. We should.
What, a
No.
merch store for magnetic
No.
nipple clamps?
No. They're not.
Yeah,
being
why not?
endorsed.
Give me a reason why not.
Yeah, you
Maya.
can do it, but it's like,
I thought you and Leo were going to do OnlyFans where you sat fully erect reading I don't know, philosophy books or some dumb shit.
you realize
You were gonna say
you realize I have to
Karl
go to
Marx,
sleep
and
at some point tonight. I mean, that's like something that is seared now into my. Yep. No, I can't get rid of it. I'm just okay.
Well, yeah, Leo actually offered that up, and the good doctor over here seemed very eager to jump that off. So Crystal and I are just waiting for the
have a
opportune
lot
moment
of
to put the
humility.
link in the chat.
I feel like that's a good way of violating the TOS, Maya.
I mean, you could press the play button.
Where
Could
are
I?
you
I mean, okay.
for
Are we
Ellie?
like okay?
Lying.
Hold on. We have one little bump and then like a turgid mass of viewership right here.
Okay, let's do it.
Brings no sanction. You can lie all you want. What you can't do is tell the truth. That is a fact. So once you know that, you can sort of reverse engineer their lies and
James Woods.
know with some certainty that whatever they're telling you is not true is in fact true. That's exactly the truth. It's exactly the truth. And then you have to ask motive. Like, it's not a profit motive. Like, does it make them rich to deny that there's supernatural forces? No.
Hold on. Who are we saying it's not a profit motive for?
They, obviously.
I
What
just
is
love
that?
the fact.
And
I love the fact that he said, "What is it? You can't tell the truth. That's a fact."
It's fact. It's impossible to
you
tell the truth. Everyone knows that.
Why do I feel like I'm facing two guards and one of them's just like, well, one of us tells the truth and the other one lies? And,
Yeah, but
Right.
in that example, one of the guards tells the truth, right? Like,
yeah,
it's still.
yeah. He's still no. He's basically. It's like everything. He just basically said everything I say is a lie.
Yeah, he's very.
You just broke
the
philosophy,
time
by the
when-
way. You just violated the first law of identity. A equals A. No,
Me?
everything I said is a lie. Him, you too. I'm by proxy,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
no,
yeah.
it's like he's saying it is itself and its opposite. Everything I say is a lie. That statement cannot possibly be true, but it also has to. Never mind. Let's move forward. I'm being pedantic.
You are.
This is a Tucker Carlson show. Okay, moving forward is not a thing that's going to
Yeah.
happen at the
Yeah, I
end of
mean,
the
it's
day.
kind of like a black hole where like there's only
Yeah,
one way,
yeah.
and that's down.
Every direction is down in a black. Exactly, Maya. When you're
Spiraling.
falling into the event horizon, every direction is down.
I don't know the answer, but the obvious answer is, well,
That's clear.
because they sort of know they're working for supernatural forces, actually. And I think that's probably true. And the US government is millions of people. I'm suggesting that, I'm not saying it because I can't prove it, but I'm suggesting it. And if you're asking whether I believe it, the answer is yes.
As we move deeper into our
I'll give him credit for not shying away from, I guess, endorsing the proposition.
Wait, for endorsing
The proposition that the whole thing that he just spent way too many words dancing around before he finally was like, yeah, I believe that.
Okay, yes. No, give him props for at least admit. Yes, I
Yeah.
agree. That I didn't think we'd go that far. I really didn't think we'd get there. So let's see. We could call it 13 minutes in. He actually gave his real personal view, presumably.
Right? Exactly.
At least he claimed to. Yeah.
You claim to.
was unchecked. Take, for example, the recent controversies around whistleblowers in various sectors, from government to the corporate world. These individuals expose
Have you ever had a whistleblower on your channel?
I tried, but they're really expensive.
That's fair. What about you, Nick? Or
It's classified. I'm not allowed to
yeah,
discuss it.
I was about to say.
those harmful truths. Yet rather than being heralded for their courage, they frequently face severe consequences: loss of employment, legal battles, and public vilification.
That does happen when you release U.S. secret documents in general. I shouldn't have
I mean,
to
yeah, they
explain
frown
that.
on that. I hear.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
break the law. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, which is interesting because like even Obama, who ostensibly uh made the most support for whistleblowers, also I think was the harshest on his own. So yeah, I mean, right on them, good for you, right on me, bad for you.
No,
Fair
I don't
enough.
hear a video. Just saying.
Harmful truths. Yet rather than being heralded for their courage, they frequently face severe consequences: loss of employment, legal battles, and public vilification. This pattern starkly contrasts with the relative impunity enjoyed by those spreading misinformation or operating under deceitful pretenses. Tucker highlights the psychological
You don't say.
Curious if the First Amendment might have anything to do with that.
Also, it's like it's true what they're saying, but like they're also the ones doing the thing. Why are you like this?
It's like a murderer going like, it's just the fact that they let me commit murder is just wrong. I think
Exactly. I'm
how
like,
can we live in a society that lets me murder people? Don't you see something's wrong?
Yeah, like
manipulation involved. When society punishes those who speak the truth and rewards those who perpetuate falsehoods, it creates a disorienting reality. This tactic isn't just about controlling the narrative, it's about altering the very way we perceive truth and ethics. He points out that this isn't a new phenomenon. Historical examples abound, from the vilification of troublemakers who challenge the status quo in scientific.
Okay, in modern scientific thought, is the vilification of troublemakers like a thing that makes any sense?
Who vilified this troublemaker out of curiosity?
Which troublemaker is this? Is this Galileo?
Galileo, yes.
That's what I
sir.
thought. I
Right.
thought it was Galileo.
It's
but I
Galileo
wasn't-
Galilei, who was vilified by the church for fucking. Oh my god.
Oh
And
my
Yeah.
God.
no, yeah. So it's just and jeez, fucking what the. Oh, nipple clamp. Shit. Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know how that got there. I'm
So
sorry. I
Tucker
don't.
got fired from Fox News, for fuck's sake, a channel that even if it's the truth becomes lies once spouted from Fox News. I feel dirty just saying it's a news channel. No, yeah, I never know what to say. I usually just call it Fox. If I say news, I put it in like, air quotes,
Oh,
or because it's just like, and I don't want
Mhm.
to actually we're gonna I think we oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, pretty soon. Yeah,
No
I
problem.
don't want to anybody to think that we think that Tucker's completely harmless. I pulled up this article from NPR and I want to read. I'm going to try to get this in 1 minute or less. Until his abrupt ouster, Tucker from Fox, Tucker Carlson used his primetime news show, the most watched hour on cable news, to inject dark strain of conspiracy mongering into Republican politics. He railed against immigration, claiming it makes our own country poorer, dirtier, and more divided. He called white supremacy a hoax and asserted hate speech a made up category designed to gut the First Amendment and shut you up. As Fox News, as a Fox News tentpole drawing around 3 million viewers at night, Carlson's show has been both a source of that kind of nationalist, populist conservatism that Donald Trump embodied, but also has been a clearinghouse for conspiracies. Many of the false narratives Carlson promoted were of the Great Replacement conspiracy theory, the racist fiction that non white people are being brought into the US to replace white voters. The theory was once considered fringe territory of white nationalists. But thanks to Tucker Carlson, this kind of direct that you would normally see on the far right forums and online spaces had a prime time audience on cable news every night. Carlson's show gave many Fox viewers what they wanted. That was Melissa Ryan of Card Strategies, which tracks disinformation and extremism online. That person said that Tucker Carlson gave Fox viewers what they wanted: false claims about the 2020 election, COVID vaccines, and the January 6th Capitol insurrection, as well as smears against gay and transgender people and Russian propaganda about fictitious Ukrainian biolabs. To name a few. The article goes on about Tucker crimes and lies, but I didn't want to anybody to think that we think that Tucker's harmless. We laugh at Nazis here. It's what we do because Nazis should not be taken seriously. And I will fight tooth and nail. And anybody who says that Tucker Carlson is not a Nazi, he's a white nationalist who, has no problem dividing our country and bringing it down, propagating white nationalist misinformation for his own personal gain. He is a scum of
Tucker
the earth,
Carlson.
and I wish there was a hell for him to rot in.
Tucker Carlson is the most prominent white nationalist, I think, in our modern parlance, with the possible exception of like Donald Trump. But Donald Trump is just YOLOing it constantly all the time, and he's a fucking Cheeto faced chump. So
So
still more
very
dangerous.
important to make that caveat though about Carlson, which is he's worth mocking for a great many
Yes.
reasons, but he's actually also dangerous, and he's
There-
promulgated a lot of dangerous ideas and is a genuinely bad fucking human being.
The white nationalist movement is one of, if not the most dangerous political force that we have in the United States right now.
yeah,
I can't think of one that's more dangerous.
I mean they're at the top of like, was the FBI or the CIA, Nick? Like, has deemed them one of the like most
FBI.
FBI, yeah, one of the most like dangerous, um, not cult, but groups, I guess. In the
Extremist, yeah.
what do you call it? What did they replace?
Well, there's
they used to
the
be out
list of terrorist groups. They're actually not.
terrorist
They're
groups. Yes,
yeah. They're not as high as
yeah,
you'd think on that list. Believe it or not, Greenpeace is
they are a
one.
terrorist group, though.
Yes.
Yes. So just saying. Oh, holy shit. On a lighter note, Nick, who are you? Where are you? And what do you have coming up this week?
So my name is Nick Suter. I am the host and owner of In Time. We're a news program, and yeah, we talked about this earlier. We do breaking news, we do interviews, we do stuff like that. We have decided to sponsor a channel. We are going to be sponsoring Bad Science Sundays going forward. We are going to be paying them to not associate with us in any way whatsoever and to delete this interview. But as long as they never mention In Time ever again, we will happily sponsor this show. No, so and I do know Maya going way back, although I think this is either our first or second stream, depending on how you choose to label it. Oh, come on, that was funny. Anyways, either that or she's just thinking of murdering me. So thank you guys very
Usually.
much for, and we got the link.
Somebody
in the live
just
chat.
gifted 10 cultists.
If you, oh,
That was Jester, Lord of Shenaniganery. Hey, and we do have 10 more cult members, which went to Crafty, Sydney Raptor, Christopher Tablante, Peter Guns, Not a Summer Child, Tom from Facebook, Bond, Palm Dad, John Hudson, John Fapiano. Welcome to the cult. Please enjoy your tapioca weasels, your nitties, and vaginas. And a special shout out to all of our mods for all of the chats that you've had to release. Like, holy shit. I don't know what's going on. Well, okay.
Yeah.
It's a Tucker show. So I see you. I want you to know that I see you. And yeah, this is like maybe 3 times as many as they've had to release for YouTube
I
thinks
mean,
that our chat has a potty mouth.
the
And
problem with
that is a
Tucker is it's
feature,
one.
again.
The problem with Tucker is it's one letter away from fucker.
I mean,
And
a lot of people have been calling him Fucker Carlson.
this is
So,
my
no,
point.
I don't think that's one of his drawbacks. I think that's a strength.
yeah. Unfortunately. What do you have coming up this week, Nick?
Well, we've got Commander Lance McMillan is going to be joining us for downtime. It's going to be us, just him and I shooting the shit. Sometimes we also have his Andring on for that. And my mind blanked on what we have planned for Tuesday. So I don't, but if you join us on the Discord, you'll see how we do what we do. And if you want to help us out and contribute or just watch, and you will find, I think, that we usually have pretty cutting edge news on our Discord. In fact, often the news on our Discord you find well before you'll find it on any other source, including Reuters, AP, and any number of the other reputable sources. And the sources that like to pretend to be news sources like Fox and so on and so forth. So I hope you guys will check us out.
Oh, yeah. And I am under, like, I'm a, what is assistant or deputy mod, I think, in time. So,
Yeah, assistant head mod. Yep. You were someone. Someone seems to have changed that. I don't know what. See, it almost seems punitive.
Damn it, Titan.
I don't know who would do that. It sounds like something Titan would do.
Right? This is my point.
well, Titan's not here. Oh, he is here. You know what? Normally he's asleep by now. All right. I was going to say hashtag blame Titan, but since he's here.
Yes, that's
blame
it.
you.
I never blame Titan to his face ever.
No, blaming
Just-
Nick. Totally blaming Nick.
Yes, wise. I don't. I'm not. I don't blame you. I understand. I get it.
But yeah, if you I don't know, you people ask me how they find me on Discord. I'm like, you could DM me. But if you're looking for me anywhere that I get all pings, because I'm modded next to Discord, I get all pings in there too. Whether you're pinging me or not. Just
Yes. So, in
so
fact, if you just want to make up news just to annoy my we
no, it will
strongly
do
encourage
that.
that on our Discord too.
So yeah. Vandy, I believe you have something coming up this week.
I believe that I have an appearance on Skeptic Haven, And I also have an appearance on Saturday on Vandelia's channel. I'm not sure about the Skeptic Haven one, and I messed that up last time because I'm, the worst at life. But I'm pretty sure about the Vandalia one. I'm going to be talking about like what I do, like my day job. And so if you want to know like what the Weasel physicist does,
I thought you just
I
like shoot atoms and write notes. Like my thing is like you're
yeah,
all like
but
pew pew pew. Atom
yeah, but
shot.
like but I
Pew
mean
pew
they don't make
pew.
What
they
did
don't
Or
make
Adam
that
atom
do?
noise.
shot.
They don't make that noise, but we do call them shots. Yeah, we like yeah. You press a button and that's a shot. Yeah, like
You're like
100%.
playing Atom Duck Hunt.
Yeah, I mean, here's the
I'm just
thing,
trying to
Maya,
figure out who
is
Adam
those
is.
they're ATOM,
How would
okay,
you
and
spell
its
his name
name
that
is
way?
strontium, and it needs to be shown who's boss, okay, and whose boss is Michael fucking Vandegraff. All right.
I was going to ask you
Really
how big
should
your
know.
collider was, but I guess that I'm going to stay out of that territory now because there seems to be
Wrong
some.
Vandegraff. That was my grandfather.
Lest we forget. I don't believe I have anything coming up this week. Next Monday, I'll be on Skeptic Haven with Black people talking about Black people shit. I hope to see everybody there. Um, so, Nick, since I can't believe we have Titan here this late, I we decided that we wanted to end the show on because we all
Oh,
of you
perfect.
guys just under 50 stayed with us. Well, I'll say stayed with us. A lot of you did stay for the whole show. Like I hugs and kisses. God damn. This was a rough one, but not quite as rough as the Terrence Howard one, though. Gotta say. But for those of you who stood with us all the way through, we do have a treat.
Oh yeah.
Going around and you're walking in the woods. There's your stump leg. You've beaten Shia LaBeouf.
Wait, he isn't dead. Shy surprise, there's a gun to your head and death in his eyes, but you can do jujitsu. With body slam superstar Shia LaBeouf, legendary fight with Shia LaBeouf. Normal Tuesday night for Shia LaBeouf. You try to swing an axe at Shia LaBeouf, but blood is draining fast from your stump leg. He's dodging every swipe. He parries to the left. You counter to the right. You catch him in the neck. You're chopping off his head now. You have just decapitated Shia LaBeouf.
His head topples to the floor, expressionless. You fall to your knees and catch your breath. You're finally safe from Shia LaBeouf.
What'd you think, Nick?
I never thought I would say this,
Mhm.
but that actually made coming on this show worth it.
It's one of Titan's favorite.
I could see why. He's like that. Yeah, that was good. I like that. Well, thank you. I feel at home now. That doesn't mean I'm coming over for Christmas or nothing, but thank you.
We'll see you back in 1 year.
Sounds perfect. I think, and I'll send you the therapy bills, and
Oh
if we get
yeah,
that
yeah.
paid
Send them
off,
to the show.
yeah, exactly.
PO box. Do you have anything that you'd want to say before we get out of here?
No, I'm good. Thank you guys so much for having me. It was a blast, and thanks to the live chat. I felt very welcome the whole time. You guys just let me like shoot the shit. Oh my god.
Yeah. No, I mean, you have a lot of family here.
Yep. Thank you guys. It was a lot of fun.
All right. All right, guys. You know what to do. Vote and bring a friend. We'll see you next week.